Dun, dun. It's ready to go. No.
Oh, here we go. Hello, welcome to the Top Corner Podcast Live. Apologies about the delay on the time of stream. We've had a couple of issues. Go, boom. So, thank you very much for everybody joining. Thank you for joining today. How are we all doing? How are we all, Kieran?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you.
How's the other Kieran?
I'm not too bad at all.
And how are you, Rowan?
Good, you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. So, apologies about the wait. We're just going to go straight into it. There's a lot to cover over the next hour and a half, 2 hours. So, we'll go to the first big piece of news that came out. It seems like we talk about somebody getting sacked every single week, and it's a big one this time. Ernesto Valverde has been sacked by Barcelona. He helped the club to reach 2 successive La Liga titles. Of course, they are on top of the Liga right now on goal difference, but they've had a poor run in the Champions League for the last couple of years, of course, losing to Barcelona, that infamous result against Roma, that famous commentary from Derek Ray, the Greek god of Manolas, and they've decided that they're going to replace Valverde. Derek Ray? No, Peter Drury. Why am I thinking Derek Ray? Foot champions, isn't it? I'm so used to foot champions.
Literal chills.
Derek Ray. Hi, I'm Derek Ray.
I was
Welcome to the Foot Champions Weekend League.
And it's a great god in the Foot Champions Weekend League.
But they have replaced Valverde with Quique Setien. He was the manager of Real Betis. He's been a long-term target for the club. In his time at Real Betis, he led the side to their highest Liga finish in history, as well as a Copa del Rey semi-final. I think the first question to really talk about is... were any of you expecting the sacking of Valverde?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If you look at the recent results, yeah.
It was a long time coming, I think.
Definitely.
He's not even got the best out of his main signing he got in the summer.
Oh, frankly, you've just got to look on Twitter, any Barcelona post Valverde sacking, and everybody's just sack Valverde,
Literally.
sack Valverde, and just endless memes.
Usually you see mixed emotions, but this seems like a fan base rejoicing at the loss of, like, thank God he's gone, pretty much.
I think that most of the Barcelona fans wanted Pochettino, though, in my honest opinion. Apparently, I read something this morning on Twitter that Quique Setien was their 4th choice for manager.
Ooh, wow.
So he must. It's good that he's actually got the job, because he's done well at Betis and he can show what he can do at a top side with funds that'll get him what he wants, really. But I struggle to see who the other three candidates were apart from Pochettino. Maybe Xavi.
Xavi was one of them.
And who else was up there?
Maybe it was Allegri, I don't know. Whenever I hear a vacancy, he's the first name I go to.
There was Pochettino, Quique
Yeah.
Setien, Xavi, and I think they were like the 3 main targets.
I was about to say Carlo Ancelotti. Unai Emery.
Unai Emery to Barcelona. But yeah, it's just to make sure as well, anybody in the stream, if you could tell us whether the audio is fine or not, that would be a great appreciation, because if we sat here for the next 10 minutes and nobody can really hear anything, then we've got a slight problem. But Quique Setien has been a long-term target in the past. He's been linked with the club before. Real Betis, they had a little bit of a tricky start to the season. They're not doing too well. I mean,
Still in the Europa League,
They did lose their best player in the summer.
They did indeed. They've
lost
got
to
Yacine Fekir. They're right now the 13th in La Liga, 24 points. They've gone a decent run of form.
You've got Yacine Fekir. Did you forget about Nabil as well?
Yacine Fekir. No, I said Nabil.
Yacine Fekir's gone on loan to.
Yeah, he's at Betis B.
No, he's not. He's gone on loan to CD Guadalajara or something.
Oh, Guadalajara.
No, it's not them.
Let's have a look. Where is Yacine Fekir?
I was looking. Me and Will looked
It's the
yesterday.
important. We should have like a section every week. Where is Yacine Fekir?
He's played 3 games and he's scored no goals. But I actually added his career stats up. He's got 57 games in all and scored 13 goals. So the next game he should score, because he's got a 1 in 4.
I mean, to be fair, that's not even a bad record, really.
He is at Spanish club CD Guijuelo in the Segunda Division B, on loan from Betis Deportivo. Because, of course, wherever Nabil goes, Yacine's got to go same place, hence why... can you imagine Liverpool?
That is the
with Klopp?
spitting image of, like, the phrase, "Oh, mum, I'm going out. I'll take your little brother with you."
Yeah.
That is that.
Just on a European tour instead.
I was going to say, like, bring your kid to work, Dane.
Bring your brother to work, dear.
Literally.
But I think Quique Setien's not a bad choice. Xavi was a linked option.
I'm still thinking of that. Could you imagine Rio had to bring Anton wherever he went? Come on, Anton, in you come.
Imagine Giggs had to bring his brother everywhere.
Jerome Boateng and Kevin Prince.
God. Then his wife had to come with him.
That's what I was getting at in the joke, Ro.
I think I just had to be obvious.
Now, Quique Setien, of course, he is the brand new Barcelona manager. I think a lot of fans are rejoicing at the fact that he's the new manager. Do you think Xavi would have been an interest? How do you think Xavi would have gone? Because I did see the news the day before Valverde was sacked. Apparently, Xavi was getting close to having negotiations completed. Would Xavi have been a good fit for the club, do you think?
Well, yeah, he's got the Barcelona heritage, really, and he's been the poster boy, as some say, for in that Barcelona midfield when they had Iniesta. Him and Iniesta, but I don't know, because there's a lot. You can go into coaching, and there's like the way that Frank Lampard did it is I thought was good. How he started off at Derby and then he went to Chelsea. Even though it's that little bit of coaching experience, it's still some experience more to just throw a massive job at Xavi in his first managerial role.
I was going to say that it's a clear parallel with how Frank Lampard did it and how Xavi's done it. But for me, the step between Derby and Chelsea is much smaller than the step from the Qatar first division.
That's what I meant, yeah.
To La Liga. So we've seen it work with Lampard. That's fair enough. We've not quite seen it work with, for example, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but also in the Championship, Neil Harris had his way with Millwall, and he had a certain way of playing. And then he's moved to Cardiff, and it's not been what they expected. It's when you get a manager, it's always, as stupid as it sounds, it can go one or two ways. You can either have stability, or he might be out of his depth.
Yeah, I do agree on that one. I think, as you said, with the way Lampard's done it, going from Derby to Chelsea, he's tested himself first before just jumping the gun and going for a big club.
He took a bite of the sandwich before he looked what were
inside. In terms of Lampard, I don't think. I think Chelsea have done.
The other way round.
Have done better than what they expected, but in terms of managerial experience, he's still lacking some.
Well, you can see that this year with some of Chelsea's results.
Yeah.
Like losing at home to Bournemouth, most Chelsea managers wouldn't. Yeah, but you're gonna find that because he's got his philosophy of bringing through young stars, and I think Xavi would probably do the same.
I think that works to an extent though, but you still need those world class players in your squad, and he has got a few of them, but he's just not got enough. Like he's got Aspilicueta, he's got Kante. Pedro's not good enough anymore.
And I guess the difference with Xavi would be.
I think William's good still.
The difference with Xavi would be, if he was doing what Valverde was doing, would the fact that he was a former player give him a bit more leeway? Because to be fair, if you look, they are still top of the league, aren't they?
Yes, they are, on goal difference.
Exactly. You get sacked when you're top of the league. That is a bizarre place to be. The only one I can remember, I think it wasn't it Unai Emery after winning League and that he got sacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it only works with a certain amount of clubs in the league. So Xavi would have a lot more at his disposal than a Lampard.
Also, I think that Xavi is inheriting a team full of absolute superstars, and Lampard was inherited a team that's just lost their best player, arguably, in Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. We've got a long period of football left. Of course, the January transfer window's here, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on. So there's Rowan's getting very excited for it.
In fact, it was me.
That was
was it Kieran? I thought it was you. Usually you go woo.
No,
you like to get the energy going.
Mine's more enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So in fact, actually, rather than talking, there we go. We got the excitement. Rest in peace, headphone users. We'll go straight into the January transfers. To be honest, there's a lot of news. The picture's gone. We love it. The picture had's gone. This is going well. So I'll just. did come a couple of days ago. That was linked with West Ham Gedson Fernandes, and Tottenham swooped in at the last second. Very Willian-like, in my opinion, when Willian was linked to about 500 Premier League clubs.
It's because West Ham didn't want to buy him. Well, didn't have the option to buy at the end.
And obviously we're after another Fernandes, aren't we, at the moment? So
You are indeed. We are going to talk about that other Fernandes a little bit later on.
At least Gedson Fernandes had the decency to not do a medical at another team, be successful in that medical, and then jump ship because he's already completed one.
That's
At least he was nice enough to not go to London Stadium, complete all his analytics, and then do no, I'm all right, and leave.
I don't know what it means for Spurs though, because do they really need another midfielder?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah.
They signed Ndombele in the summer, and I thought that is such a good signing for Spurs. He fit him perfectly.
Yeah, but you've got to remember the losing Eriksen. So then
I don't count him as he's not. Where Gedson Fernandes plays is central.
Oh, no.
Central of the park.
No, but I'm saying if you look at that clump of midfielders,
I don't class Eriksen as a midfielder though.
if you not in that clump of midfielders, for me, there's not a lot of proven talent. You've got Lo Celso, hasn't quite proven himself just yet,
Still young.
and Ndombele hasn't had time to prove himself. Sissoko is hot and cold. If he's
awful.
When he's running up and down, he's fine. When he's shooting or defending,
he is. He's just not fine. I just think he's such a bad footballer.
he's not.
Harry Winks.
Winks is average. He is a plain meal deal.
Welcome to the stream, Ben Simpson.
Eric Dyer, I think his time's gone now.
He's a championship style player.
No, he's not.
He's like
not.
Burnley.
Yeah, he's
Burnley
not.
stayed up.
But then I think if you add another
Dele
man into
Alli.
the mix, Dele
I don't
Alli,
class Dele Alli as a midfielder either. I'm talking midfielders as in like the central of the park. They've got
Holding.
Winks, Sissoko. Who?
No, don't know.
holding
Oh,
midfielder,
yeah.
I think you said.
I'm talking Winks, Sissoko, and Ndombele, Lo Celso. Who else did you
Lo
just say?
Celso's more attacking.
Yeah,
in
Lo
fairness.
Celso likes attacking, but the way
Right.
they're deploying him.
I just don't think they need him.
Well, welcome to the stream, Ben Simpson.
However,
he's put a comment. This is talking about the point before about younger managers. He's saying Gerrard's doing well as an ex-player to manager, of course. He's doing quite good at Rangers.
Yep.
If you are into the stream as well, we are one subscriber away from 350.
Please subscribe.
So we're very, very close. So do leave a like and a subscription as
So
always.
he's planning the 350 special then, lads.
We just record it straight after this.
Yeah.
So of course, Spurs have signed Gedson Fernandes on loan. Eriksen, who we've been talking about very briefly, he's in negotiations with Inter Milan. Now, terms were apparently agreed for 8.5 million, but now Tottenham are saying they want 20 million pounds.
Yeah, that's
So
Fabrizio Romano.
It's a hell of a jump.
No, but the fact that
it's
they've
a massive
agreed
jump.
a deal for him, and now they're wanting more money.
It's a weird one because, of course, Eriksen's contract does expire this summer. Tottenham quite clearly want to take the money and run, and Inter Milan are quite happy to pay. But as you said, they've agreed the deal.
You've got to think, if you're into Milan now, you just go, no, we'll just wait till the summer when we can get him for free instead.
Gentleman's agreement, isn't it?
There's no point in pushing the envelope when you're just going to have an unhappy player who will not help you for 6 months.
I think that. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but I think with Inter Milan they want to win the league this year.
Yeah,
And
I
they
think they
need.
could.
They
I think
need
they could,
Eric.
yeah.
I think they need Eriksen to take them to that next step.
I think of it as a win-win, to be honest.
Yeah.
Eriksen on his day is a top player. I mean, for Eriksen, this is a great test. He's never been in Italy before, so I think he'll do quite well there. For Tottenham, they're going to get a pretty decent fee, 20 million. I know he's a class player on his day, but his contract's expiring, so take the money and run if they can get 20 million. And Inter Milan, they get a top-class player, plenty of years left. He's in his prime.
I don't know if you guys watched him yesterday, but it was awful. Against Middlesbrough. He was awful. He was awful yesterday.
I just can't see.
He's probably not liking how it's going right now, isn't it?
But that's not how you should play. You should should play with your ability on the pitch. You know what I mean? You should play to sell yourself like Coutinho did.
You see that all the time though in football now.
It shouldn't
People
be
just
like
go
that,
into
should
strop
it?
and then just say, I'm not going to play for your team.
And just a piece of breaking news, by the way, Olivier Giroud is off to Inter Milan. Just been announced the last couple of minutes. Olivier Giroud is off to Inter Milan from Chelsea. €5 million deal plus 1.5 million in bonuses. The total agreement for the French striker and Inter for a 2.5-year deal is on wages of €4 million and bonuses a year. He's going to have the medical in the next 48 to 72 hours, and then he'll be officially confirmed by Inter Milan. So that's Olivier Giroud. He's going off to Inter Milan.
You know what? That's a decent sign.
I was going to say, can anyone else see him being any more than a super sub though?
It'll be. Yeah, he's cost to be a super sub, but he's similar to Lukaku in that sense that he's strong. He can hold the ball up.
And welcome in, Will. He says Gerrard will be the heir to Klopp when Klopp leaves.
I agree with that.
I definitely agree with that.
I agree. Gerrard will be the heir to Klopp.
A couple more little deals that have gone throughout Europe over the last week. Wolfsburg have signed Croatian youngster Marin Pongrasic from RB Salzburg in a £10 million deal. That's once again another player, another one of their youngsters leaving the club. £10 million deal. I think that's quite a decent deal for Pongrasic, to be honest.
Don't really know who he is.
He's touted as a talent, like one of
Where does he
Croatia's
play?
upcoming centre back.
If he
I
comes
thought
from
he was a centre-back.
Salzburg, he's under 21 and he's quite good at football.
Alexa Vujicic, welcome to stream. He says Giroud might be one of the most horrifically underrated forwards of this century. That's a gem and a half at Inter. The best plan B in football with Fellaini.
I think Olivier Giroud will be always underrated because he guarantees you goals. He really does.
Welcome to the stream. Hickster says share moment works. You'll have to listen later. It will be available on Twitch if you want to watch
He
that.
guarantees you goals. If you're France in the World Cup, he doesn't guarantee you goals, but he guarantees you assists.
Well, this is the thing. As I think we've mentioned on the podcast before about the way Didier Deschamps talks about him. He just goes, "This is why I start," because France have so many good forwards at their disposal. They persist with Giroud, and from the outside looking in, you're going, why in the world are you using him? But it just fits the way they play.
It just complements a lot of players around it.
Yeah.
Of course, if there's any more news announced over the next couple of hours, I will release it on stream. But another piece of news: Simon Kjaer, he's left Sevilla to join AC Milan. I thought it was a permanent deal. It's actually a loan deal. He had a spell at Atalanta. It was a 6-month loan deal there. He's now gone to AC Milan. I think that's a weird one. I thought Atalanta would have kept him, considering they've still got the Champions League knockouts. They're still fighting for the Champions League spots for next season.
Maybe they're not playing him because they've got Marcelo, they've got Rafael Toloi, they've got Palomino. So
they would have had Skirtle if he didn't leave after 2 days.
But this is the thing, they might not need him, or they have plans to bring in someone else.
I think Milan are bolstering their squad a bit, aren't they now? They need to bolster their squad because they need to get up that table, but
they can't spend as much money because I remember
that's why they've gone for the loan deals.
Yeah, that summer where they spent I don't know how much on Hakan Calhanoglu and
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, there was a summer where they just spent big and then it's just not prevailed at all.
Will's part. I think Eriksson isn't playing up to his potential at the moment because he's in limbo. If he goes to Inter, it's a fresh start, and I think he would bounce back. I
think it's similar to a bit like Lukaku in the sense that he wasn't in such limbo when he was at Man United, but you could tell he didn't want to be there, in my opinion, but. He was a really good professional. He obviously scored the goals that got us through against Paris. But
I just think the way that they've gone, we'll have an 8.5 million deal. Day later, changed my mind, 20 million. I think that's going to put a bit of rest the deal for a little bit. Like the deal, if it was 8.5 million, that could have been done in the next 2 days. I think
that'd have been done today.
Yeah, but now if they've added that 20 million, I think they need to kind of cut it down because I think from Inter's point of view, I know they want to win the league this year, but they could definitely just wait and just get it for free.
And then they would win the league next
year.
So
I think. I find a middle ground of around 13 to 15 million and they'll be happy.
The only thing with Eriksson is he'll have to go into the Europa League, won't he?
He will, yes. He will indeed.
That could be the only thing that maybe stops that. If he doesn't want to play if he doesn't want to play Europa League football.
I don't think, at this point, I don't think he cares. Because I just think he doesn't want to be at Tottenham. Because I still remember Tim Sherwood going, all these young players, if there's a place where they want to win trophies, they should stay at Tottenham. When has that been proven?
I think, to be honest, Inter anyway will say to him, look, we've got a vision of being in the Champions League. And
they'll be in it next year.
They'll be in it next season. So.
They just got drawn in an unlucky group.
Yeah.
If they're in Leipzig's group, they win the group.
Yeah.
If they're in Chelsea's group, they win the group.
Oh, easily. There's a couple more deals that have gone on. Kevin Vogger, the Hoffenheim centre-back, he's moved to Werder Bremen on loan. They've got about 10 gazillion centre-backs now. Oma Toprak being another one that's on loan there. Ryan Babel, he's gone back to Ajax on a loan deal from Galatasaray. And Diego Dem, the German midfielder, he's moved from Leipzig to Napoli in a £10 million deal. But the main talking point we're going to talk about for a little bit, it kind of links into a big game. We're going to go, it's kind of a mixture of the January transfer and the week's fixtures coming up. We've got Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United, which was one of the major talking points in terms of the January transfer window. It's a deal that's been talked about pretty much every day. There's always something coming out of it. And they're saying right now Jorge Mendes is in London to complete the deal. Now, I think you were saying, Kieran, don't they want to keep, Sporting want to keep him for the Benfica Sporting game, which takes place on Friday?
Yeah, but then I saw something yesterday saying that Bruno Fernandes is desperate to play to get to Man United pretty much, which I don't see it happening before Friday. But if it did, it needs to happen in the next few days. Because we'll have training Friday, I think, then Saturday, whatever, then we play Liverpool on Sunday. But then we've got Monday and Tuesday, and then we play Burnley on Wednesday. So if it's not completed by Friday, maybe tomorrow even, I don't think it'll be getting done till next week at the latest. But I think it's definitely going to happen. I think this is one that's confirmed
I think
100%. But I did say to you yesterday, I will not believe it until he's on the show.
Yeah, well, the Express are reporting the same thing. They're saying Manchester United will seal the deal after the club's Premier League clash between Sporting and Benfica. They're saying, according to Portuguese journalist Gonçalo Lopez, United will complete the signing after Friday. The Red Devils have been hoping to add the 25-year-old to their squad in time for Sunday's Premier League clash with Liverpool at Anfield. But Lopez claims that United will have to land him after Friday's showdown between Sporting and Benfica. Bruno Fernandes to close after Sporting's games next Friday. They want to keep him against their big rivals Benfica to give him a big send-off.
I'm not surprised at all because I remember last summer, I think it was last summer just gone, Sporting basically needed an exodus because no one wanted to play for them because their fans stormed their training ground and they injured players like Bas Dost when he was there. They cut him over the head. So that club at the moment it has been in a little bit of it may have been solved now, but what I remember was in a lot of unrest because of that. Because one, fans should never storm a training ground, and two, if they don't feel safe with their own fans, there's no point. So I'm surprised he didn't move in the summer, because that was when all the hype was around him. But better late than never, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, he's kept up his form anyway. So it's not like if he'd have slumped and done poor this season, then I don't think maybe this would have happened as soon as now. No, but in terms of the situation at Sporting, it's all sorted. Obviously, signed that new contract in the summer. Fans apologised to him and things like that, and the club's gone through a bit of a resurgence. But of course, there is that big game which is taking place on Friday in Liga NOS. It is Sporting v Benfica. It's a massive match for Benfica more than anything. Sporting right now, they're in fourth on 29 points. Benfica are top of the league with 45 points, so they're quite a far distance away from each other. Benfica, they're on a roll right now. They're basically doing a Liverpool in Liga NOS. They've only lost one game and won 15 out of the 16 available to them. They've only conceded 6 goals all season, which is incredible. As for Sporting, they've won 3 of their last 5, 9 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses. It's a major derby in Portugal, and as I said, this is what they want to do to give him a big send-off.
Not surprised everyone wants Ruben Dias, and if they've only conceded 6 goals all season, he must be a hell of a good centre-back.
It's stunning, 40 goals scored, 6 goals conceded. I mean, even I'm looking now at Porto in second. They've got 41 points, they've scored 34, only conceded 9.
Is that a case of, though, there's only pretty much 3 teams in the league and the rest are...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's the odd decent team here and there. Obviously, you've got Famalicão, who've been absolutely stunning this season. Braga, Vitória are all right on their day. Rio Ave as well.
Famalicão are the ones that only just got promoted, aren't they?
They are. They've got super agent Jorge Mendes behind the back.
Former Hull City legend Josh Simon.
They do indeed. They're doing all right, actually.
Is that a left wing back?
Third in the league right now.
I preferred him at left back. Yeah.
So they are trying to become the next big club in Portugal, because it's just a nightmare right now to become a big side there. It really is just Sporting, Benfica and Porto that are the 3 front runners. Will says Fernandes is a great fit for United and his stats don't lie. My only concern is, can he translate it from the Portuguese league to the Prem? And Alexa Vujic says, I saw Pongrasic play. He is very, very talented, but he does have temperamental issues. Gets in trouble with the refs and bookings, which he won't be able to do that in the Bundesliga.
If you're a young kid, then I mean, we
see
a
lot to learn.
Speaking of Scotland earlier, we see it with Alfredo Morelos. The thing is, you've got to have the point where, I'll steal the quote from Gary Neville, like, you need to become an experienced player, unlike Xhaka, who's never been an experienced player. Like, most players grow that out of the game, whereas Morelos at the moment hasn't grown it out of his game because he got sent off for stupid reasons in the Old Firm the other week. So it's just if you can coach it out of him sooner rather than later.
What do you think, Rowan?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I blanked out. I'm not helpfully. I'll be honest, you've ruined my thing because you started talking about Sporting thing and I'll get ready for the weekend, the results. What you talking, your Rangers, weren't you, the Morelos? How many is it? 6 red cards he's on now.
Yeah, he's got the European record for the most red cards in the season.
Wow.
Is that just a clear discipline issue, or is it just unfortunate refing?
I think it's an anger issue.
No,
yeah,
the way you got sent off in the Old Firm, there was just no need to dive. It was the last 10. He could have taken the ball to the corner or he'd have a shot or something. He just didn't need to dive.
Yeah. The Rangers need to do something from their club then if it's a clear disciplinary issue.
Well, Steven Gerrard obviously likes him.
No, he's a class striker.
On form.
Who's never scored in Old Firm, which is another bizarre stat.
It's crazy. The amount of chances he's had in Old Firms that he just missed easy citizen things. It's crazy. But we will go into this week's fixture results. Are quite a long starting section. So, of course, we did do some predictions last week. I'm not going to lie, because we have had the sound issues, I wasn't able to track them out, but I will for next week, so then I can tally up all the points in that. So we'll do some predictions this week. Has anyone got the pen nearby?
It's here.
Nice, I'll do some predictions for that later on. But for this week's fixtures results, we had 4 games that were going on. Of course, the Bundesliga wasn't on. It's back this weekend, and one of the games is in the weekly roundup. So we'll start off with Rennes versus Marseille. Kevin Strootman was the hero of this match. He came off the bench with 10 minutes to go, and within about 4 minutes of coming on, he scored the winning goal to allow Marseille to continue their great run of form. They've now gone 9, I've put 9 times, I don't know why, 9 games unbeaten in League One. They stay second in the French League, 5 points behind PSG, while Stade Rennes, they actually stay third because the rest of the teams around them drop points. So for them, I guess it's not as bad in terms of the loss. Are you trying to look at a mistake I've made there?
Yes.
What have I done?
You'll see.
I'm just
You'll see
looking
later
at the weekly roundup for next week, and you've put that Liverpool play at the Etihad. Man United go to the Etihad, and can Man United go to the Etihad and stun the side?
Do you know what? Man City's in my head.
To be fair, you're playing the Carabao Cup second leg soon enough.
When is the second leg?
It's not next week, the week
The week after. I don't know why I put Etihad, I'm not going to lie.
Can't wait to get beat.
The League Uns.
Basically, don't write notes in the morning when you've just woken up. It's not a good idea.
League Un, though.
Well, Kevin Strootman, of course, he's been a player that has... He had his moment, Kevin Strootman. Wasn't he linked to Manchester United before, actually, Strootman, in the
Everyone's
past?
been linked to Man United in the past.
Thomas Muller for the 100th time.
Well...
The
League
One is heating up though now, considering second are only 5 points away from PSG.
Yep.
It's getting extremely close, like all the other European leagues, apart from the Premier League.
Well, PSG dropped points this week against Monaco. When do they face Monaco again? Is it tonight?
Tonight.
Oh, come on, Wissam Ben Yedder. I love Wissam Ben Yedder.
Well, that's a smooth news because obviously we had PSG and Monaco.
Yeah.
The weekend where it was a 3-3 draw. Neymar scored 2 goals in this one, but it wasn't enough as Monaco basically came back in this, probably the biggest game of the weekend, really, in terms of two sides actually clashing. It was Monaco's first game under the new manager Robert Moreno, and they found themselves leading 2-1, only 13 minutes into the game. But it turned into a goal-scoring frenzy as Neymar could not be kept out by the away side, as well as an own goal by PSG to produce an incredible comeback.
Who scored the own goal?
Ballo-Touré for Monaco.
Who?
Ballo-Touré.
And then Ben Yedder and Slimani both scored to end it, to basically equalise it 3-0. PSG 6-game win streak came to an end, but they are still obviously top of League One with 46 points, as Monaco are now in 8th, which is even getting a draw still puts you in 8th.
There's games at the start of the season where you just write off if you're a fan, and especially Monaco, they'll have written off
the
PSG away.
Side.
Yeah, they are a weird side, I agree. They'll have written off PSG away and thought, we'll be lucky to get out of a draw. But they have got out of a draw, and I didn't watch the game, I've not watched the highlights, but from what it seems and what you've written down here, Josh, it seems they played quite well.
It was an absolute frenzy. It was back and forth, attack. I mean, Ben Yedder and Slimani this season have been incredible. What scares me the most is Slimani wants to leave.
Is that Slimani that fled for Leicester?
Yes.
And was on loan at Newcastle?
Yes.
Why would you?
I don't know why he wants to leave. I feel like he's just trying to jump ship because he's in good form and he thinks he can get a big move elsewhere, but I don't get that.
He didn't do it in the Premier League.
No.
It doesn't make sense to me, because if you're a guy who has had... it's fair to say a couple turbulent years. So I don't think he's really peaked since he was at Sporting, in my personal opinion.
The injuries he had at Leicester did not help him.
No, I think he scored in his debut for Leicester. He scored a good header. But
then he scored in the Champions League against Porto as well.
But nothing ever really came of it. So he's had a couple turbulent years, and he's found a home. Why would you act like you're unhappy just to get a move elsewhere where you could go back to being an out-of-form striker, and then when you end up moving again, you end up down the bottom half of the table because no one wants you?
Just a question, does he start?
He does start.
Do they play 2 up front?
They do.
Him and Ben Yedder.
He's more the holding player. He's 31 years old, so really this is probably going to be one of the last big clubs he'll be able to go to. Now, Aston Villa are one of the clubs that are actually linked to trying to get him in January. Of course, Villa desperate to sign a striker.
What if Villa go down? And
Well,
they've
there's
still
the
got
problem.
Slimani, then Slimani's just going to leave there as well.
I mean, he's got a fair amount of goals and 7 assists, so it's not like he's in terrible form. He's been doing really,
But
really
we've
good
seen
in
that
France.
Wesley were doing amazing in Belgium. I know Belgium's not up to the standard that France is, but France is way behind the Premier League in my opinion. And go on, what you say?
I'm just saying I'm still trying to get my head around it because it's very much Lukaku Martinez. Slimani complements Ben Yedder, and Ben Yedder complements Slimani. So I don't. Maybe because we're not footballers, maybe we don't get it. Maybe.
I agree with what Josh said though. He's probably just trying to jump ship while he's in form. Because he wants to probably play in Champions League or Europa League.
He's 31, and in football terms, that is getting on the older side, which is weird to
He's still got at least 4. If he keeps himself fit 4 or 5 years.
Unless you're Ibra, he's got another 15.
He might just be going for money now. Round it out, get his retirement fund up.
I was going to say, this is what makes no sense, because if Villa are offering more wages, but then they get relegated,
they can't keep
put themselves in a worse position.
They've already got Wesley on high wages. They've already got
Danny Drinkwater.
Danny Drinkwater's on
110
grand a week.
Pepe Reina's on quite a big wage.
But they're on loan, so they'll disappear when they go down. If they go down, sorry Villa fans. If they go down, but Wesley's still going to be there. Tom Eaton's still going to be there. Tyrone Mings is still going to be there.
Mings won't. Mings will go.
No, but he's literally just signed this year. He seems like a Villa lad from
I was going to say, but he was on loan in the Championship one year.
Yeah.
They made it permanent.
James Coonchu, welcome to join the stream. He says Danny Ings team of the week incoming.
Probably.
Yeah. But I've lost my train of thought now.
You talk about Aston Villa's high wages.
Yeah, I can't see them. They can't keep them wages up in the Championship. You've seen when a lot of teams have tried to do it, like Fulham.
I was going to say that I was talking about this. On this weekend when I was in Hull, we were talking about how they've had to shun players out on loan, like Seri, Zambo, and Gisa. They've had to just kind of go, right, crucify the whole squad, get them all.
Schürrle as well.
Yeah, all the high wages have to go, and we'll bring in Championship. Even though they've still got a great squad.
Yeah,
because they've
managed.
Doing
well.
Yeah,
they've managed to keep Mitrovic. I think that's probably what they were trying to do, like get everyone out so we can keep Mitrovic.
But I don't know about you guys, right? This season, for me, is the first season in 3 or 4 years where I've actually believed Monaco were on the up. Is that just me that thinks that this year?
No, I agree.
When they had Henry, they were awful. They get beat 4-0 at home by Bruges, and they were 4-0 from 20 minutes or something like that.
I think the Ben Yedder signing is the key one.
I agree with that.
I think if you've got Slimani, if he was your standout striker, they definitely won't be doing.
We were
amazing.
Man United were linked to Ben Yedder in the summer now. That is just such a perfect signing.
I was going to say
it was a release clause of 32 million,
so
I think
cheap.
it was.
Yeah,
it's
in
just cheap.
40 million euros it was.
Yeah, I'd say I was gutted when he went to Monaco.
I think he's proved that he can do. Because I guess when you look at him and he was good at Sevilla, you can always say, "Oh, he's only done it in La Liga. Or is he good anywhere else?" He's gone to France and I think the Premier League should be kicking themselves that they didn't take a punt on him.
Definitely.
If he was to go,
He always goes to Everton on Football Manager.
If he was to go to United, how would you play him?
I'd just put him up front.
Rashford left.
Before this season started, I didn't think Martial would be that good of a number 9, so I'd have played him up front. But looking at it now, I'd still take Ben Yedder.
James in the chat says I can see Mings going to a big club like United at the end of the season.
No, I don't want Tyrone Mings.
Just a quick question for Josh, if you can search quickly. When he was at Sevilla, did he play alongside? Because I know they had De Jong at the time.
He played alongside Gamero at the time.
It doesn't really work in the little and large situation. I was going to say, because if he played alongside like a Luke De Jong, then that makes a lot more sense, and that's how he likes to play.
Ben Yedder is 29, of course. This really is his prime right now. 17 games, 14 goals in Liga, and 3 assists. This is one of his best seasons ever.
His age is why Man United didn't want to sign him, because they want to sign young players below the age of 25, or just at the age of 25. That's why they didn't want to sign him. But I was like, 29, you've still got a good 4 years on you. You get a good 20 goals in first season. You're gonna be loved by the fans, and then you know what I mean.
The only scenario
similar to Javi Hernandez. Sorry,
the only scenario that doesn't work in is if they rely on pace so much. Unless again, your name is Jamie Vardy. But like for example, if pace is your sole purpose in the game, once you get over age of 30, you're gonna lose a yard, no matter who you are. Again, unless you're Jamie Vardy. But Ben Yedder doesn't rely on pace.
No,
he relies on.
He's good.
He's good with.
He is fast though.
Yeah, no, he is good with the ball at his feet though, and
he's good at finishing as well.
It's amazing it's took him this long to get a France call up.
Yeah, it is, because to consider who they've got, and they've got Lacazette, they've got Benzema. Lacazette don't even get called up. Martial don't even get called up.
Benzema's not allowed to.
Benzema's not allowed to get called up. But they've got Giroud, aren't they? Who gets called up normally? And who else is it? Is it Gamero who gets called up?
No.
Is it
Griezmann.
Gignac, doesn't he get called up as well?
So he didn't get
not
called
anymore.
up
He's retired now.
No, Griezmann's their out and out striker.
Is Griezmann like a winger?
No, not for
Not
France.
for France.
Not for France. No, because
does,
if you,
does
I
Valverde
was gonna
just
say-
fancy playing him on wing?
I was
'cause
gonna
he
say
can?
you've got Ousmane Dembele, Thomas Lemar. You don't need bloody Griezmann out there as well.
In terms of France, who would you go with? Like, there's their front three. Griezmann, obviously.
Dembele.
I was about to say, do you want to go off form or do you want to go off just who I think could
I
win
want to
us
go
the
off
World
form
Cup?
this
Win
season's
then.
this season's
You don't
form.
call them us.
What?
You said win us the World Cup.
No, I said.
You
Just-
didn't.
didn't mean to say that.
I know this is going
Leave
back
the
off topic a little bit. Just an interesting stat. I've worked out the amount of games that Ben Yedder's played in his career. It's the amount of goals he scored. He scores a goal every 2.2 games,
That's amazing.
which
You
is
can't-
an incredible record. That's throughout his entire career, throughout any club he's ever been to.
Right, okay, so on
It
form,
stands for
Ben Yedder
himself.
over the last 200 games has been class. So, no,
He's got
but-
138 goals in 307 games.
So
That's
if,
mental.
if the French national
If
team
we
came
built-
to you
yeah.
and said, pick the best 11 players,
Oh, we're going the
you
whole
can-
11
You're
now.
11, might as well. 'cause
yeah, we'll go the whole
Yeah,
11
World
that
Cup
you
winners.
can.
Right,
Go on.
Lloris.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, cute jinx.
My guy.
Who do you want right back though? Like,
Uh,
who do you think right back?
Gilbert.
Who?
No,
Gilbert,
no,
Mr.
no.
Gilbert.
Like
No,
they had
I'm
Sidibe-
torn between two.
Sidibe.
I'm
Malqui.
torn between two. Kenny Lala, because of last season,
Mm.
and Benjamin Pavard, because that's where he plays.
I think Pavard.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go with Pavard.
If we've got
then.
Pavard as a right back.
Centre back's got to be Varane.
It's Varane and Umtiti.
Yeah.
Though Longley,
Lucas
yeah.
Hernandez.
Longley.
do you
Left
know what?
back, you know?
I changed my mind. Varane and Longley, because Umtiti for me is too injury prone.
Isn't Lucas Hernandez a left back?
No, he's centre
He
back.
does play left. But Theo Hernandez is the one that plays left.
That's
back.
what I'm
Will's
thinking. My
put
bad.
Giroud seems like a different player when he plays for France. Fits their system well.
He
He
does.
does. That's what we
He
said that
ju-
earlier.
He just
didn't
links up with Deschamps. Well,
Left back.
Left back
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Luka
Digne.
Digne.
Or
I
Dean.
do like Digne.
Yeah, for me, it's Luka Digne. He offers more. I think Hernandez, when he gets a couple more
He's good at
years,
set
'cause
pieces,
this is-
aren't he?
if you think about it, since Hernandez moved to Madrid, which was the big move, he hasn't had a good season
He's at
since.
Milan now, isn't
Yeah, since now when he moved to Milan, when
he? How old is he?
he's
I'm about to
23.
say, I
He's
swear
not.
he's
He's young.
still super
He's
young.
young.
So midfielders, you got.
Are we doing
we'll,
saying
we'll,
three?
we'll go 4-3-3. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kante.
Pogba.
Kante, Pogba, Matuidi.
Yeah, the three that were
Yeah.
dynamite in World Cup. Then
Yeah.
the forwards, you got your number 9 as Griezmann. Or are
Definitely.
you going?
I'll go Griezmann just 'cause.
I'm going to put Griezmann on the wing. I'm going to go Griezmann, Dembele, Ben Yedder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I don't think you're gonna. I'm going to Martial, Griezmann, and Ben Yedder on the right.
And Rashford.
And somehow McTominay's got in
They've
there.
changed nationality. Yeah, I agree with Kieran.
But
Oh, thank you.
I was going
Both, yeah.
to say, anyway, we've talked about France. I mean,
we've gone on quite a bit of a tangent there.
I just
No,
think in just one my last point. In terms of France this year, I just think Martial's had such a good year, in terms of stepping up and playing as a number 9. But he won't get played as number 9. He can obviously play on the wing as well. And I
Well,
think he should.
Also,
he
I think
should.
we'll talk about it more when we get close to
yeah,
the...
because Euros
Yeah.
this
I
year.
think we'll talk,
Yeah.
but like, France are the strangest team. They're obviously going to come off a World Cup win, but their selection choices
Yeah.
are always awkward.
Well,
I
like
agree.
a Giroud.
I don't know why we've got to this, but
'Cause
it's
I
gone
was
from
gonna
it's
say-
gone from Ben Yedder to France,
Do
hasn't
you know when we look at the World Cup or Euros, we always sit there, and I swear to God, everyone puts this post. They could make 3 starting 11s, couldn't they? And they put little
It's like
hi-
Germany could as
li-
well, couldn't they?
literally.
Criminal.
Germany
they-
maybe not. Germany
it's
could
criminal
do
that
a
Leroy
goalkeeper.
Sané didn't go to that World Cup, and I'm still annoyed about
but,
that to this day.
to be fair, I think that's a Joachim Low situation. It's not.
Still
Is he
annoyed
still
about
the
that to this
manager?
day.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
Will's
is.
put as well as if they have Ferland Mendy at left back too. Depth
Mm,
is
yeah,
ridiculous.
Ferland Mendy.
Benjamin Mendy.
I still think
Well,
that.
I still think
I
Digne
still think
is
Dean.
above.
Luca Dean.
Luke Digne.
But yeah, we'll move on to
Digne.
we'll move on to Italy now, where
so
we had
Italy national team, right? Who's going to be in the starting
right,
11?
McTominay.
Benucci and
McTominay's
Fred.
Italian.
Go on, I'll let you go. So.
Lazio, they are now up to 10 consecutive victories in Serie A after a late howler from Napoli goalkeeper David Ospina, and I tell you, it was an absolute howler. It was
I haven't seen it. When we're
trying to
talking
play
about
with-
howlers, how
he was
does it?
trying to play with the ball outside of his box, and
Oh.
Immobile just got the ball back and tapped it in.
Was it Lloris like in the World Cup final?
Worse. Honestly, it was,
Was it
was
Karius
terrible.
like against
it was
Real Madrid?
genuinely terrible. I don't know what he was doing. Just a moment of madness. He gifted the easiest of chances to the league, and in fact, the Europe's top scorer. Immobile is the first player in Europe to score 20 league goals this season. But a big performance as well from Lazio's goalkeeper Thomas Strakosha. He had a massive game. I think he made 6 or 7 saves. Lorenzo Insigne had a couple of chances that could have easily gone in the back of the net, but the Albanian goalkeeper made some stunning saves. Gattuso, who hasn't really had the bounce back manager effect, has now lost 3 of his last 4 games. Napoli have moved down to 11th in the league. Funnily enough, AC Milan are now above them, considering how disappointing AC Milan have been this season. As for Lazio, they now find themselves in the race for the title. They sit 3rd with game in hand, only 6 points from first place Juventus.
I think if I'm Inter Milan and Juventus, I'm looking over my shoulder a bit and thinking, well, they're getting a bit close to us, aren't they? Because Juventus and Inter Milan dropped a few points these last couple of weeks, and Lazio just keep relentless, aren't they? Immobiles are relentless this year. I always question Immobile and think, you can do it there, but can you do it in the Premier League? I always compare stuff to the Premier League because that's the league that I watch the most.
They are really focusing on Italy. They haven't on the Italian league. They haven't got the Europa League now. So
because they were knocked out by, was it Celtic they got knocked out by?
Celtic,
yeah. So I always question Immobile and think, he's good this year. Can he do it next year? Can he do it next year? Can he do it in Premier League? And I think that he just keeps proving everyone. Well, he's got 20 goals this year. Is that what 20 goals?
20 goals.
Europe's top scorer. That is incredible to say you've got in Europe as well.
I have one issue with Lazio.
Go on.
We sing Immobile's praises, but if he gets injured,
that's a good point. Yeah,
that is
Felipe Caicedo.
Oh,
is that
so rubbish.
Is that the Lazio backup player?
They're
so
playing
bad.
both up top together.
He's
check
so bad.
how many goals Caicedo's got.
Yeah, let's have a look.
He's so bad.
Who else plays for Lazio?
Well, you've
You've
obviously got
Luis
Milinkovic-Savic.
Alberto, Milinkovic-Savic.
They've
I like
Luis
Luis
Felipe,
On the
Strakosha,
wing,
Who's that
on-
left?
on-
Lulic.
Lojic, that's his name.
and Marusic on the other wing as well. You've got Jordan Lukaku who still plays there as well.
Felipe Caicedo this season, 13 matches, 4 goals, 1
See,
assist.
He's just. Can you rely
I
on
mean, that's a
him?
goal every 3 games.
Can you rely on him? No, he's rubbish. Oh no!
Get Yassin Fekir in there.
You have to take Nabil with you as well.
No,
Luis
but
Alberto
It works
won't be
the other way
happy.
around. If Yassim has to go, Nabil has to follow.
no, because then I'd start questioning which club's going for Yassine first.
You never know.
But no, I think when it comes to Lazio, the only reason I can't see them pushing Juve and Inter all the way is the fact that they just haven't got the depth, in my opinion, especially not in that striker position.
But like Josh was saying, they don't have Europa League.
No, true. So
And if Immobile does keep fit, I can see, like what I said, the Inter Milan and Juventus are looking over their shoulders and thinking these are coming in a bit red hot, aren't they? 10 consecutive victories.
to be fair, they've got the young centre back as well, Luis Felipe, who's doing absolute. I'm going to put this doing
And
absolute bits.
And
He's doing-
Strakosha as well. He's been playing really well.
According to Calcio Mercato, I'm just looking at a couple of Lazio pieces of news, seeing if they're trying to bolster their squad. They are looking at Ashley Young. There is the potential chance that.
I thought you
Right.
you said bolster, not weaken.
get them out the title race
Right,
now. They were never near
They're
it.
done.
That's it. Yeah, apparently they're one of 2 sides looking to take on Inter Milan to try and get Ashley Young into Italy.
Just sacrifice yourself. I think, but the interesting thing about this is obviously how Immobile is so good, but also Napoli's downfall has become terrible. I will not be surprised. I know you mentioned some news the other day about Koulibaly in the summer.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if that Napoli starting 11 come next season looks massively,
Isn't
massively
Mertens out
different.
of contract at the end of the
Just
year?
a piece of breaking news, by the way. Napoli have just announced the signing of Stanislav Lobotka from Celta Vigo.
These don't.
That's a massive signing.
I
Is
know,
it?
but
He's been. He was linked in the summer. Tried to get him.
Was he a goalkeeper?
no, he's a centre mid.
Slovakian midfielder from Celta Vigo.
Because they've signed Diego Dema, they've signed Lobotka. For me,
Did you say he's centre mid?
He's centre mid, yeah.
Yeah,
That's 2 midfielders.
This is my thought process. I think next season we won't see Mertens, we won't see
Fabian.
Insigne. I think Alan will go.
Fabian.
Then
Fabian's gotta
Milinkovic-Savic will go.
Fabian from Napoli.
I think it's Savic plays for Lazio.
Oh,
Rowan.
sorry.
No, it's alright. Fabian will go. I think Alan will go. I think Koulibaly will go.
Mertens, Insigne.
I've already mentioned them.
Oh,
It's alright. You two, right? Get with
I'm
the
not
programme.
as bad as him today.
Yeah, I know this is going off topic
Not
again,
with
but the Lobotka deal, for anybody who's interested in it, Napoli are paying €20 million up front with another $4 million in add-ons.
How
for
old
that
is
deal.
he?
Stanislav Lobotka, he is 25. He's
I've
been
never
Celta
heard
Vigo's best
No.
player this season.
I have heard of him, but he's a good footballer. But is he better than what they've got? In my opinion, no.
Does that mean that one of their midfielders might be going in January? since
Zielinski,
they've got
maybe?
Potentially Allen, because Allen's not had the best
Who's-
of relationships with Napoli this
Who's he
season.
been linked to, Alan? Though? I'd take
PSG.
him. I'd take him. I think Alan's
I
brilliant.
think you'd take anyone right now.
To be fair,
No,
you-
I wouldn't. I
you
wouldn't.
look-
I wouldn't.
Especially in midfield and defence
Yeah,
but
but
maybe not attack.
you look at that Napoli midfield, I'd take any of them. You've got, as we said, Fabian, we've got Alan. Zielinski's a quality player.
Milinkovic-Savic.
He don't play for Napoli.
He does.
Plays for Lazio.
I know.
But as I say, I just think come next year, sadly they lost Malqui for the whole season, so maybe I don't think he'll move
I mean,
anytime
as long as
soon.
they don't lose David Ospina, then they'll be all right, won't they?
I think he's one of La Liga's criminally underrated midfielders, Lobotka.
Yeah.
I honestly do. He's been Celta Vigo's standout player for the last 2 seasons. Of course, they've been fighting relegation. He's been one of their standout players.
I disagree with that statement. I think Iago Aspas.
No, I'm saying one of, not the standout. I'm saying one
I
of.
heard standout.
Well,
Tension
Iago
is
Aspas he's been all right, but I'm looking at Iago Aspas's record now. Let's have a look. He has scored 7 goals in 19 matches this season. I think they're the two that have kept them.
Where's Celta Vigo in the league?
They are, I think. Let me have a look on the Liga table just to make sure I'm not giving out fake stuff here. Right now they're 17th for the league. They are just off relegation on goal difference.
I was going to say, to be fair, I think
and to be honest, I think they're going down at this rate.
I think looking at last year, Aspas was more crucial than Lobotka, and I think Lobotka's coming to his own this year. If them two link, now Lobotka's gone, I worry for Celta Vigo now.
I think they're going down.
Yeah,
I genuinely do think they're going
down. Do you
down.
think Aspas will jump ship then?
How old is Iago Aspas?
31.
31.
I mean, yeah. He's too good to be playing in the Spanish second division.
Maybe that's the replacement for Silimani if Thingy goes. I don't know.
Potentially.
You saw Stuani, didn't you? He did brilliant in the league.
For Girona, yeah.
For Girona. Now he's back down in the...
He's still with Girona.
Yeah, back down in League 2 with Girona.
Well, Will's saying apparently Napoli will lose most of their main players due to squad mutiny. Koulibaly, Allen, Insigne, Mertens and Zielinski will probably all leave in the summer.
Yeah, the rumour that I saw that I sent you guys yesterday, I was at this morning either, apparently a deal's been agreed for the summer with Man United for 65 to 70 million euros. I'm not sure how reliable it is. I can't remember who it came from.
I think
another piece of news as well has just come through. There's a lot of deals going on right now. Politano is moved to AS Roma.
Mm-hmm.
I said that to you guys.
Spinazzola gone the other way.
Deal for Spinazzola?
Spinazzola's going to Inter Milan.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was looking the other day and I was in the train station with you and I was thinking, Politano's not as young as I thought he was. He's 26. I thought he was younger.
Still young, in fairness.
No, I know, but
who's getting the better deal though? There, I feel like
Roma
are getting. Yeah, I think Roma are getting the better deal.
But as we mentioned the other day, though, when Spinazzola and Lazzari were both at Spal, they were both quality wingers. Then Spinazzola moved to Juve, which I think was just too big of a jump too soon. And then it's kind of been downhill from there, really.
In fairness, players play differently for different managers.
Yeah, no,
so
that's the thing.
Spinazzola could come into his own, be the best player in the league.
It
it's
depends
versatile.
how Conte wants to play, because who does he play on the wing at the moment?
Right now,
Balde Diao.
He'll play like a free... No, Balde Diao's at Monaco.
Oh, yeah, he moved.
Yeah.
Shit,
who does he play? Is it?
He's changed.
Does he play Alexis Sanchez
He's changed. I don't
Sanchez
think
came
he's
back,
been
didn't he?
playing him
He came back
recently.
yesterday.
To be fair, Antonio Candreva scored a beauty, but I think it was either first or second week at season.
He changes it up. So, for example, he plays 3-5-2 from time to time. So sometimes he does the wing back. Sometimes he play Asamoah, and sometimes he play Valentino Lazaro. I mean, Inter Milan fans are not massive fan of Lazaro. It's safe to say.
No,
but sometimes they'll play. Yeah, he's not been doing too good. He tends to stay for 3-5-2, so he'll change it up. So he might do Asamoah and Lazaro sometimes. Sometimes he'll use Biraghi on the left-hand side and Candreva. But they always like to go 2 strikers because of how Martinez and Lukaku have been playing. So, theoretically speaking, Spinazzola's the perfect fit because he's versatile. He's a left-back and a left mid.
I was going to say he'll fit more that Candreva, where Biraghi will play now. He'll fit more. That's it. I think for me, it'll depend on his opposition. If he believes he can truly get at them, he'll probably play the 2 midfielders as the wide men. Whereas if it's, for example, maybe a Juventus, he might go Asamoah and Lazaro, even though they're not big fans of Lazaro.
Does Alexis Sanchez play ever?
He's just come back from injury.
He played at striker alongside Lukaku.
Let's
have a look. He hasn't played.
No.
Oh, it's great. He takes it to the side of the pitch, and he fake Rabonas and just takes it past him. It's one of.
He was a good player. He was just a bit. I don't know.
I think it was the move.
He
wanted to leave Arsenal. And then he was like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what he was doing. In all honesty,
so beautiful though. He just it looks like he's going to let it go out of play, and he just Rabonas it in, and beautiful.
Well, my opinions on Alexis Sanchez are irrelevant. To be fair,
So we'll go on to the last piece of
Back
this
to
week's
England.
fixture results. We go all the way back to England. We've done the European tour. We're now into Spurs Liverpool. I feel like we talk about them every week, but right now the way Liverpool are playing, it's unbelievable. And talk about the way they've been playing. Liverpool have actually produced the best start to a season by a club in European history after a close affair with Spurs. With 20 wins in 21 games, Klopp has turned down the significance of the history-making feat. The only goal of the game came from Firmino, who turned Spurs' young debutant Tanganga, and beat Gazzaniga with left foot strike to give the away side all the 3 points. Liverpool, of course, they're not going to drop down the league. They stay first, of course, 64 points. Spurs are now 8th without a win in their last 3 matches.
I think
the bounce back effect of Mourinho is not working.
That's what I'm about to say. I think the bounce back effect of Mourinho has not worked at all. But I think that Spurs were very unlucky to not get at least something from this match. After Firmino scored, it was pretty much all Spurs, and it took them about till maybe the 80th minute to start going forward, and that is the effect of that Mourinho has on you. Because I remember watching Man United a lot last year, and that was literally the same thing that would happen. 80 minutes would come, and then we'd start to press the team, then we'd start to create chances, but it was too little, too late. And Lo Celso missed a great chance. Son missed a one-on-one. There were so many. They were all right chances, but those 2 chances in particular, I thought should be burying them.
Do you think they're missing Lloris?
No.
Really bad?
No, because
No.
I think Gazzaniga's done all right.
Gazzaniga's been good.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been all right.
Yeah.
Apart from the game at Old Trafford, he were all right.
But I think for me it was, as you said, missed chances, a few what ifs and buts and
Yeah.
whatever else. But also Spurs were lucky not to be 2-0 down because Tanganga made, I think it was 2 blocks on the line against
He did play really well.
Salah, and I can't remember, it might have been Firmino at first and Salah, but he got himself in really good positioning for such a young man. I think he got man of the match, didn't he?
I think if I'm Serge Aurier, I'm looking and thinking, hang on, I'm not going to be right back
Well,
anymore here.
To be fair,
Because he played yesterday, Tanganga played quite well.
Serge Aurier for me has always been a liability.
Yeah,
I think.
agree.
But he whipped in that beautiful ball for Lo Celso, I think it was. He was the one who
Yeah,
whipped it in.
It was.
So, as long as he's not going backwards like a defender should, he's all right. But it's when he actually gets calls into question. One-on-one, if you think, if I was attacking Aurier one-on-one, I'd drive at him into the box because you know he's going to make a mistake.
Well, he got absolutely destroyed, didn't he, when they played at Anfield?
Yeah.
Rose and Aurier got absolutely destroyed, and Gary Neville gave him heavy criticism after that game.
I was going to say, I always look at Aurier, and I can't... When you look at your defence, you want to be comfortable that no one's going to make a silly error, and no one's going to jeopardise your team's ability to defend the ball. However, when I look at Spurs' defence, and I see a defence of, like, Aurier on one side, and then even at left-back, I can't trust Ben Davies.
Danny Rose. They don't have a good left back.
No, I think fullbacks for me used to be Tottenham's best position when they used to have Walker and Rose at their prime.
I don't know what's happened to Danny Rose.
No, when it was Walker and Rose, I used to look at them and say they're England's starting left and right backs. It's kind of flip reversed, and Liverpool have now got that exact same system. And I was saying to Will the other day, for me, where Liverpool win and lose this title is not if the attackers get injured; it's if one of them fullbacks gets injured.
I think if it's more Robertson, I think, than Trent. If he gets injured,
either I've trying to think of the replacements and I can't think of them. Klein's injured.
Klein's
Klein's
so
out.
Larouche and Nico Williams.
It'd be one of them youngsters. I mean,
Or Milner.
We've
I
seen
think
how the
he'd go with
youngsters
Milner.
play. under
Or
Klopp,
Fabinho
though.
can play right back as well.
I've got a couple of comments that's coming. I was going to say something about Aurier and say that his best time, and somebody's put the exact same thing. I was going to say his best time as a player was at Toulouse.
Yeah.
He was absolutely bossing it then. So Will's put, Spurs had the chances but didn't start playing until the 60th minute.
Yeah.
Teams under Bruno take way too long to get started.
That's what I said.
And Alexa as well has put, Aurier was very solid fullback defensively for Toulouse and very early on for Spurs, but he's regressed the last year or so. Or maybe Pochettino just changed the tactics and it doesn't suit him. Also, how Rose, Sissoko and Lamella are Premier League players is terrible.
I agree with that.
I disagree.
I don't know about Lamella. I like Lamella.
I disagree with Lamella.
But Sissoko is awful. He is awful. He's such a bad footballer. Whenever I watch
Newcastle
Spurs...
reject, right? Well, reject.
Whenever I watch Spurs, I think, how is he a footballer? And I just think he's a liability.
Do you know, for some reason, I disagree with Sissoko. I do see something in Sissoko. But what I was going to say was I think Aurier was good for Toulouse and he had good moments for PSG, but his bad moments always came against higher level opposition in the Champions League. I think when he's not an intelligent defender.
No.
When he comes up against high level attackers and elite teams, I don't want to say he bricks it. He doesn't brick it, but he just can't handle it. The way they move and the way they can manoeuvre the ball.
Do you think that's because Tottenham don't have a lot of possession in those games. Like you saw when they played Crystal Palace, he played well. He got 2 assists, 2 nice balls into the box for his assists. In a game where Tottenham will dominate the ball, I feel like Aurier is less of a liability, as you say. But when they're getting absolutely dominated like they were at Old Trafford, he was awful. Then
I just think better teams target him. Good managers will literally just go, just aim for him, drive at him, and we'll go from there.
So he says a liability, isn't it? Like you said.
Literally. When you look at a defence, it's always like, what's a good example? Like, for example, if Van Dijk and Lovren were playing at each other,
you target Lovren.
You're going to run at Lovren. You're not going to run at Van Dijk because there's no point. He's a brick wall.
You'd run at the best defender in the world.
Exactly. So for me, when you've got Aurier in your defence, there's always a target there for people to aim at. And as you said, if Spurs are facing a better team, they're just going to expose it all the time.
In fairness, with any team, there are one person, even in that Liverpool defence, you target Trent just because he's not as good as a defender
or
as
Joe
others.
Gomez.
Yeah.
Because he's not as well-rounded as Van Dijk is.
United, you'd attack...
attack the left back. Left back's awful.
We've got a couple more comments here. For anybody that's watching live and you are new, thank you very much for joining us on the Top Corner podcast. If you are new, do leave a like and a subscription. We're very close to 350 subscribers. And of course, put any of your opinions and comments in the comments below and we will read them out live on stream. Will's put Aurier's been a liability ever since he's been at Spurs. Selling Trippier was a very questionable move. And Alexa Vujic put, by the way, I have no respect for Sissoko, not because he can't play pass and run, but because he has a terrible footballing brain and switches off way too frequently. I remember Sissoko at Newcastle and he only turned up maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
When I watch him, he just looks clumsy on the ball. He looks like he's just running into nowhere.
I just absolutely love the way that was worded. I don't dislike him because he can't run, pass, dribble, shoot. I dislike him because of his brain.
He then went on to say, I also remember the last Euros where he sucked the entire tournament and all of a sudden showed up in the final. And he only showed up because he knew if he played well then, it would get him a big money move.
Wasn't he linked with Arsenal then?
He was, yes. Another piece of news that's come out, there's a lot of breaking news today. If you're a Wolves fan, by the way, and you're watching this live, just to let you know, Patrick Crotone has just scored on his debut, so unlucky. Yeah, they're playing right now in the
It's amazing what happens when you play him.
Has he gone on loan or has he just gone?
It's a loan with an option to buy.
I rate Patrick Crotone, but it's not really come off for him, has it?
The other piece of news that's just come out, the African Cup of Nations, I know this is going completely off topic. They've changed the dates again for the African Cup of Nations. Instead of it being in the summer, it's now been announced it's going back to being played in January and February. So Liverpool could be without Salah, Mane and Naby Keita in 2021. The reason why they're doing this is because of the Club World Cup's expanded tournament takes place in summer 2021. So they don't want it to conflict with that tournament at the same time.
Isn't there a World Cup happening in like November and to
2022 Qatar? Because if it's played in summer, the games will be more or less virtually unplayable.
I love the African Cup of Nations, but my issue always was it takes players from teams, and I just don't think it's fair.
I still think Liverpool will be able to.
I like it this year. Let's say Liverpool keep on continuing their momentum till next year, January. It means they're going to have to boosting up their other positions. They've obviously got Shaqiri to replace.
He won't be there. They'll go.
Do you think?
I think
let's say they keep the whole squad. They've got Shaqiri there. Who's there?
Divock.
Striker, but
Minamino could play on the wings as well.
Right, no ban them.
I was going to say they tend to play.
I was going to say they've got a decent backup.
They put Origi out wide sometimes, but
I don't know if it's good enough to be like Salah.
I just don't like the fact that it jeopardises club seasons. Whereas the Euros and the World Cup, I understand.
There's a lot of African players that play in like the Championship and League One for like MK Dons. I know they've got a player. I think it's Ibrahim Cisse, something like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of African players that play for like the smaller.
I was going to say for
teams, like Guinea,
like Mali and stuff like that.
Mali, Libya.
For teams that make it, like, so I think it was a couple of years ago, Botswana made it. And if you've got Botswana's best player, but he's your best player, and you have to lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like in League One and the Championship, there's a few African players that you think if they go from that team, they've not got the backup in the terms of quality.
Do Gabon? They're African, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean if they qualify?
They didn't make it last time.
Let's say they qualify.
Aubameyang's got to go.
Aubameyang's
That'd be a big miss for Arsenal.
And
Bouanga.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Got to add him in there.
And Didier and Dong.
Well, Lamina. If, for example, Watford though, if they stay in the Premier League and Ismaila Sarr finally finds some form, losing him would be a bit.
Oh, I think he's found some form.
Yeah, he's found
form.
I think he's done alright recently.
It started with the goal against United, which wasn't really his class, but I'm sorry, that's where his form started. So
I told you, I called that before the game. I told you he'd score.
If you reverse that the other way around and he starts finding form now when they're in a relegation battle and we go, we're going to take your most on-form player and he has to go.
Well, players can say no.
Can
they? I don't know. All right. Just in rugby, Saracens are currently in a relegation battle due to points dropping fines. Some Saracens have said that some players can sort of refuse to go to the Six Nations so that they can sit and play for the club. Does that work for football?
I don't think you can say no.
Very minute occasions. It's not very often, but I think
unless you get an injury.
I'm not sure if it was. Maybe it works in friendlies because you don't want them to get injured, but I don't think it can work in a major tournament.
Just a piece of breaking news has come out. I don't see this as breaking news, to be honest. Sky Sports News have just said Paul Pogba is likely to leave Manchester United this summer with Real Madrid and Juventus, both chasing midfielder. According to Sky in Germany, the 26-year-old would prefer to join Zidane in Spain. But
the Real Madrid president came out yesterday and said he didn't know who Pogba was. I don't know if that's
mind games.
I don't know if that's mind games or just being stupid. But
do you not remember bloody Conor McGregor? He started all this.
I feel like we need to move on. We're getting a bit. Stuck in the
yeah, we're time-wise.
We're a bit stuck in the ground here.
So you don't think that they can refuse?
No, I don't. Think
I doubt it
unless they're injured.
Well, I think it depends. If you want to make an enemy of a whole nation, go for it.
Just because with England, Owen Farrell's like, let's say our Harry Kane. Owen Farrell's our main guy. He runs the whole game for England, and he plays for Saracens. So if Saracens say we don't want him to leave, or Farrell says I want to stay and keep the club up.
Football's it's just bigger. You just can't.
I've got a lot more comments.
I know, but you just can't.
Yeah.
I've got a lot more comments. Will's put if Robertson or Trent get injured, we would be in trouble. We have seen when Milner comes in to replace one of them, the creativity disappears. He went on to say Michael Edwards, don't buy any more African players, won't have a front three. I think LFC should hold on Tyree Wilson. Another person, I like to support African organisations by far the worst in football. AFCON has been organised in only a couple of nations like Morocco and Egypt because nobody else has the infrastructure to host it. And they don't have a consistent schedule with it. Plus the format of the competition itself is very bad and it impacts performances of the players on the pitch. And Will then put Kratoma lose Benali because he plays for Libya. Frankly livid. Frankly livid.
Oh, Will, I signed Benali for Wolves yesterday.
Oh, legend.
Football manager. I was going to do a debate section, but to be honest, we're pushing for time. So we'll leave the debate section for next week.
We'll just give it a quick...
Just everyone give their opinion on it, then we'll move on.
I'll go first.
Right, okay, so basically the debate point this week, we'll do this one very quickly. Sorry, I butchered him in there, Roman. I'm sorry.
He's crying now.
He's crying. So the debate point I picked out this week is should the Premier League and the EFL introduce relegation playoffs? Now, relegation playoffs, of course, they're a massive thing in Germany. Most recently, the last relegation playoff that took place was between Union Berlin of the Bundesliga 2. They shocked Stuttgart, relegating them to the Bundesliga 2, of course. They had even more tension after the rest of the league's finished. They do tend to do the relegation playoffs, I think, a couple of weeks after the whole league's done and dusted. Now, of course, the Premier League, the Championship, there's a lot of money in the league, and I do think the occasion would be humongous, not for both sides, to be honest. You've got the prospect of a Championship club coming into the Premier League and having all this money, and obviously the prospect of a Premier League club losing all the money and having to try and fight their way up again. Should the Premier League and the AFL bring in relegation playoffs?
Yes and no. Yes, Championship, League 1 and League 2. No Championship, League 1, League 2, just because you play so many games that let's say you have done that battle to sit in that 19th position.
I think that's the argument ever for every league, in my opinion.
But you've done so well to sit in that 19th position, you shouldn't then have to go into a fight to get relegated with, I'm guessing it'd be 20th. With the Premier League, I think it would work because it's such a big thing. I'm guessing the way you're implementing is 20 and 19th automatically, and 18th and 17th.
No, 18th plays third in the Championship.
Yeah,
the way it works in the Bundesliga is it's a two-legged affair as well.
Because how does it happen? So
how would it work? Like, I think is it 17th in the Bundesliga?
How it works in the Bundesliga basically
the second place in the.
It's the 16th place team in the Bundesliga. So, for example, right now, Fortuna Düsseldorf, they're in 16th. The way it'll stay is if they stay in 16th, they'll go on to play the team that finishes in third. Yeah. So right now, that would be Stuttgart.
Oh, right.
Mine is the biggest no I've ever given.
Oh, right, no then. Sorry,
Mine is the biggest, like, I couldn't give it a bigger no if I tried, for the pure fact, as you said, in the Championship, you've got 46 games. That is a lot of games.
And you've also got playoffs as well.
Thanks for stealing my next point.
We don't.
I was going to say, and you then got to go through I don't want it to replace the playoff system.
No.
And then imagine winning the playoffs for them to say, well, you've now got to go into a relegation playoff.
And it's another two-legged affair.
Against a team that spent 50 million more than you to buy 50 million pound better players than you.
No.
And barely kept up from relegation.
Exactly. No, I
agree with you.
Oh, yeah, sorry for what I went on it.
No, it's alright.
I didn't realise.
It may work in the Bundesliga because the teams there's not much difference. You know, like between, for example, Fortuna Dusseldorf and Stuttgart, there probably isn't actually that much between them. But, for example, who's 17th in the Prem just now? Or 18th, should I say?
Is it Norwich?
Right now in the Premier League...
Bournemouth?
No, Bournemouth 19th.
2 seconds.
I think it's Watford.
What position?
Either 18th or 19th. Go on.
18th is Aston Villa, 19th is Bournemouth.
Who's
Okay.
17th?
Watford.
We'll take all three of them, right? All three of them spent a lot of money. 2 of them have been in the Premier League for a long time. I'll take Watford as the example because they were cup finalists just last year. They come up against a team who's really fought hard to get... For example, Huddersfield.
Preston.
Do you know when Huddersfield went up and no one expected them to? When they spent barely anything. That team up against a team that spent so much and who've just been in a cup fight, it just doesn't make sense.
I agree with you. A team that has to scratch and claw their way to finishing a season. They've put everything into it and they've come. Yeah. They've gone up in terms of winning the playoffs. They should not then have to face another team in the Premier League already above them.
Yeah, it feels like.
But then, theoretically speaking, let's say this team in third doesn't win the playoffs. That's a second chance. It's a second bite of the cherry.
I just think
because in the way you say it, you kind of assume that the third place team would win.
I've got.
Do you know what I mean? So what I'd assume what would happen is if the third place teams win it, then go to the fourth place.
No, this is what I'm saying. No, I thought what it'd be. I thought it'd replace the playoff system.
Yeah.
Do you know, instead of because if you do a mini tournament, win a mini tournament, but then you've only won the right to play 17th or 18th in the no, just no.
Do you know? So with Bundesliga, obviously, whoever finished third is in Bundesliga 2 will play, say 17th, 16th. So 3 automatically already go down from
2. It's 2 automatically go down.
2 go down automatically, 2 automatically go up.
Yeah, so the third place and then the 16th place.
Doesn't that make the? Oh yeah, no, sorry, yeah.
Because obviously whoever wins, would go into the Bundesliga.
Yeah. So the Bundesliga only 2 get automatically relegated. You know how the Premier League has 3 that go straight up. Only 2 get automatically relegated. It's then the third placed on the bottom.
I'd like to see it for League 2 and National League because there's no playoffs for the National League. So possible. Is there?
Playoffs for the National
League,
there's
National League playoffs.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
AFC filed one last year.
I was going to say, I personally...
I'm not lying, Ron.
No, I believe you.
I thought Salford won it, or did they win?
It was
Did they win the cup?
It was filed and Salford won it.
Filed that, didn't they?
Salford won
they're
it.
in the National League when
but
Salford won it.
Anyway, going on, I prefer our playoff system in comparison to, for example, that playoff system where only third gets a chance. Because you've got to think it also gives more teams a chance to go up in the way we do it. Because it gives 4 teams that have been relatively consistent all year, or they've made a late surge, and it gives all them a thing to look forward to in the postseason. Whereas we're giving one team the chance against one team. And then I don't want teams in the Premier League going, well, we're fighting to stay clear of relegation, but what we'll do is...
we'll get into that playoff.
Yeah, we'll fight to get into the playoff where we know we're miles better than the team that we're coming up against. Yes, there may be a shock here and there. For example, the scenes when Union Berlin won last year was unbelievable.
I mean, another one that happened is Hamburg. It was the first time they've ever gone down in their history. That was a shock to the system when they went down. So it does happen from time to time, but I guess you look at it in a sense, it'd be like an FA Cup game, wouldn't it? 9 times out of 10 the Premier League team would win, and the one time the Championship team would win.
But what if, say, one of the EFL teams got into the FA Cup final somehow? Yeah. Would they then have to play the playoffs, then the playoff, then the final, or would it go final, playoff? Do you know what I mean? Well, it's not fair on the fixture schedule.
I don't know. That'd be for the
the FA to decide.
That'd be for the FA
and
to
decide. And we saw how easy the draw was.
Because I guess they could just do it as they could just do it for one. They could just do a one-legged if they wanted to.
So fair enough. Let's go around then. Your one-word answer: should we have relegation playoffs, Josh?
I can't get a one-word answer. I'd like to see it, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
Okay, not a
That
one-word
was
answer.
yes or no.
I said I wasn't giving a one-word answer.
Go with dunno.
The reason why I'd like to see it, as I said, because there's a lot on the line in terms of money. As you said, obviously the Bundesliga is not economically as valuable as what the Premier League is. So I would like to. It'll never happen, but it'd be amazing to see a Championship side knowing that the hundreds of millions that they're about to get.
My issue is, right, we call the playoff final, I think it's called something like the £100 million
Yeah.
game. So you're telling me, right, either way they work it doesn't matter. That £100 million game becomes a chance to play for the actual $100 million in the end, or it becomes you're facing a £100 million game against a team that's been more equipped, better facilities, better everything than you. You've got to overcome the odds, even though you've done 46 games playing incredibly well.
It'd be 48, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
48 games playing incredibly well.
So, yes or no from you?
No, big no.
Yeah.
Big fat no.
Go on.
No.
I'm going to go with a big fat no as well. I don't like it. We've given it 3 words. We've given it a big fat no.
Yes.
Well, Will said I would keep it as his team shouldn't have to win the playoffs and then have to beat a Prem team to go up.
Exactly.
Prem and Championship wouldn't change enough. If the playoffs were replaced, it would be a travesty. I
It
guess
would
so.
be.
I
I
mean,
think
look
a
at
lot-
the
I
Leeds
think a lot
Derby
of
game last
fans would be
season.
happy.
It was
Yeah.
it was very exciting.
And to be fair, I like having that 3 rotation every single year. I wouldn't like, for example, if we see Bournemouth finish 18th this year, I wouldn't like them having a second chance at staying. They don't deserve to stay
Yeah.
in the league.
Yeah.
You've
agree.
not been good enough. Go down.
So that was a very quick debate. I'll get another debate topic for last week. For next week, sorry. I like
However,
having a
when
little bit
Hull
of a
finished
debate.
18th, I would definitely have liked
Yeah.
a different.
Right, so we're going to go on to the weekly roundup now. Do you know what? We need to sort out some sounds, as you said. We need to get some sounds when we move to each section.
Who was it that did one? Wasn't yours?
It was a
the
round.
quiz.
Here we go.
I've got it ready.
Right.
Come do it.
Have you got one for the weekly roundup?
No, I've got it for
the
Oh, I thought you had one. I was going to go, right, weekly roundup, get you in the sounder. So we're going to do this very quickly this week, because I said we are running on time. So we've got 4 games to look at. Now, none of them are from France this week, as there's no actual league games going on in France. It's the Coupe de France that's going on. I had a look. There's not really any massive ties. A lot of the big sides are facing the minnows. So there's no point really talking about that when we know what's going to happen. Some teams are going to win 10-0 and everyone's going to call the league a farmers league. But we've got our first game. The Bundesliga, of course, is back this week, so we have got 4 fixtures. The first one is Schalke versus Gladbach. We'll do predictions for this, and as I said, I'll look back at last week's predictions, tally up, and then I'll tally up this week's predictions as well. So if somebody want to read out Schalke v Gladbach for me, and I'll get some notes
Bundesliga is
down.
back.
Yes, get in. Go on.
Right, troops.
And it starts with a clash between Schalke, who are placed in 5th, and Gladbach, who are placed in 2nd. After a great start to the season from Gladbach, they're now 2nd. Still good for them, but, there's been a winter break, so both sides will be refreshed, but they've only won one of the last 3 games. And momentum is obviously crucial because you want to pick up where you left off before the international break. They're missing Nubel, who's off to Bayern Munich. That's Schalke, their goalkeeper. And he got a suspension in his previous match, so maybe his mind's already on holiday.
Rattled.
Gladbach have only one player out injured, who is their Algerian superstar Ben Sebaini, who's been on great form this year, but he's probably going to be replaced by Swedish defender Wendt.
With his one-star weak foot.
I was about to say, isn't he the most one-footed player ever?
Well,
I've of course, very similar to how we said about Serie A, the Bundesliga. I think there's at least 1 or 2 big games every single week.
Yeah, definitely.
It's never dull, and of course because it's so close right now, Leipzig are top, but we've got Dortmund and Bayern and Gladbach just behind them. I mean Bayern right now. I'll go through the top 6. Leipzig are in first, 37 points. Gladbach in second with 35. Bayern in third with 33 points. Dortmund in fourth with 30 points. Schalke have got the same amount of points in fifth, and Bayer Leverkusen are sixth with 28. So in terms of the top 4 and 5, it's very, very close right now. Of course, as you said, both sides had a little bit of a shaky little patch of form, but because of the winter break, anything goes now. Of course, there was that season where Leipzig were top and then Bayern just went and just took over them in the league.
Last season,
I can see
last season with Dortment. Dortment were 7 points clear, I think.
So I'm going to go around the table. I'm going to start off with Kieran L. What's your prediction? Schalke v Gladbach.
I've been a big fan of Gladbach all season, and I will not waver my loyalty. They are going to win 2-1.
So you're going 2-1 for
Gladbach.
Nice, right. So that is
You put 2-1 to Schalke there.
I nearly did.
Change that.
Kieran D, what we're going for? Schalke Gladbach.
I'm going to go for 1-1.
1-1.
I feel that
KG fair?
KG fair. Schalke have lost their goalkeeper, and I think they'll edge it. They'll edge a goal by the fans. That's because they're at home. Yeah.
Right then. Rowan.
4-1 Mönchengladbach.
4-1. He's going optimistic. First game, of course, back in the Bundesliga.
Just
he
put
thinks
4 for every team for Rowan's predictions.
One of them might get 5. Don't.
I bet for Liverpool Man United he predicts like 5-0 to Liverpool or something.
No, he'll pick 5-0 United like he did 5-0 Spurs last week.
I'm going to go 2-0 Gladbach. I think they're going to start off with a win.
I'd like
Okay,
to.
it'd be a good win.
off.
Be a good win.
Be a very
I
good
really
win for
want Gladbach. No loyalty, but no bias. I want Gladbach to win the league.
So that is on Friday at 7:30. You can watch that on BT Sport. On to Saturday. This one kicks off at 3 o'clock. It's Real Madrid versus Sevilla. Madrid come into this game off the back of a Spanish Super Cup victory. That incredible tackle, as you can see on the screen, Valverde with that ridiculously good red card that he got. Surely
I'd have done it.
surely that's the best red card to ever
Well,
get.
I tell you what, if there's a manager who ever took it well, it was bloody Diego Simeone. Did you see his interview?
No.
He just went, I don't blame the guy at all. It's exactly what I've done.
You had to do it, didn't you? Still got man at match.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. He went, there's no reason why I shouldn't have got man of the match because he did win them the game. I'm like, if I was a manager, I'd be raging.
Fair
because
play to him.
I've just got anger issues. I don't know. I'd just be raging.
I'd have been happy. I'd have been clapping my hands up, just like, good lad, good lad.
For Real Madrid, fortunes have changed recently. Zidane's side have actually not been defeated since November. Crazy stat. They're looking very impressive. The last time they lost was against Mallorca. They'll come face to face with their former manager Julian Lopetegui, who's Sevilla are under pretty shaky form right now. Only won one win in the last 4. They've been struggling for goals. Of course, they recently got rid of Munas de Boer to Hoffenheim. They haven't actually replaced the player yet, and I don't think they've actually got any.
That's it. Struggle with
any
goals. Let's
interest.
get rid of a striker. Why not? Yeah.
It's a stupid idea, considering they got rid of Ben Yedder, which was probably one of the worst transfers ever for Sevilla. They'll regret that one for a long time. A win for Sevilla, they could go into the top 3, depending on Atletico Madrid's result against Eibor. They are away, Atletico Madrid. So first of all, Kieran and Al, what are we thinking? Real Madrid Sevilla.
Rowan, I apologise. I'm going to steal your thunder. 4-0 to Real Madrid.
4-0 to Real Madrid. Wow.
I already had a prediction.
You think it's going to be an absolute hammering?
Go on, let's say Rowan.
All
All right.
Kieran D.
2-1 to Real.
2-1 to Real. Rowan.
5-3 Real Madrid.
What in the world is going on?
No, when
I was going to go 6-2, and then
when
I
will
thought that
you
was a bit
start
ambitious.
taking these seriously?
Do you know what?
These two are me genuinely
to be
being
fair,
serious.
it's the way. If this gets 5-3, there's going to be absolute limbs. Now, what game did you say you were going to give him 12k FIFA points for if the score was
It
correct?
was a 5-0.
It was the Tottenham game.
It was the
I think
Tottenham
it's
and
the Tottenham
Liverpool
5-0.
game. And it was
Just a little bit far apart, weren't
it was
they?
close.
It was
to
very
5-0.
close. I'm going to go 3-2 Real Madrid. I think Sevilla do like to up the game when
That's
they
why
play
I've gone for a 2-1.
Real Madrid.
Sorry, I was just looking at Sevilla, who their striker is.
Now
It's
we're going-
De
De
Jong.
Jong,
We're going back to
Meunier.
England now. We're jetting
are.
off back to England.
Now, Liverpool, Manchester United. Do you want to read through this one, Kieran D? It's your club.
Not really,
Like
but all right.
Pitbull, we're Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. What?
So obviously, last time these two
Sean DePaul.
sides faced at Old Trafford, it was 1-1, and United actually played well, which was good. But Liverpool have been relentless since then, and they've not dropped a point. 50 goals scored, only 14 conceded. That's incredible. Man United can go. Apparently, they're going to the Etihad to stun the side. Apparently, according to Josh.
It's not Etihad, it's Anfield. Don't write notes in the morning.
Solskjaer's side won 3 in the last 4 and enter this match off the back of a 4-0 victory against Norwich, which we played very well in, may I just add. A win for Man United could keep the side 5th, but put pressure on Chelsea above them, and Liverpool obviously stay top if they win, and they'll won't go anywhere if they lose because they're like 14 points clear. Can I go first for my prediction?
Of course you can. What are you thinking for this one?
2-1 Man United.
The optimism is in the building. Are Liverpool going to drop points for the first time? Right.
For the second
Kieran L.
time.
Have you got the same optimism as Kieran D?
No, obviously not. Isn't it something about Liverpool? They've had a clean sheet in their last 5 games.
Let's have a look. Let's
like
find
in terms
out.
of
I'm pretty sure
going
they have.
back to the Club World Cup and
I think I said this to you over there, didn't I?
yeah, this is what I'm
Right,
thinking.
here we go. Let's go through them. Obviously, 1 for Tottenham, 2 for Everton, 3 for Sheffield United, 4 for Wolves, 5 for Leicester, 6 for Flamengo.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, so 6 games in a row without conceding a goal. I do think that's going to come to an end.
Yes, we love it.
But I just think
I do think they have too much quality for us.
But
I've just gone 200 based
they
on.
play into your hands
optimism.
in terms of counter-attacking. It's like when Wolves play Man City and Wolves play Liverpool. It always tends to be quite close. But I'm going to go 3-1 to
I
Liverpool.
could see that.
3-1
happening, to be
Liverpool.
fair.
Right, okay. Right then. Rowan.
1-0 Liverpool.
Wow.
He thinks
You've actually gone for a reasonable
No, but
scoreline.
I was going to say, to be fair, Liverpool these last couple of weeks, we're used to them. Oh, they'll blow teams away. They'll win 5 this, 6 this. But recently, this season, I feel like they've been winning 2-1.
Those are the games you
1-0.
need to win. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Where you
grinding them out.
grind the
Yeah,
results
yeah.
out. That signs of Premier League champions. That is.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I think.
Have we all gone different results? There?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've all gone different results on that one.
No one's gone for a draw, which was the...
No.
I don't think none of us have ever gone for a draw.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Kieran D has. He went 1-1 for Schalke Gladbach.
You can't tally up. It can't tally up last week because Monaco haven't played PSG at home yet.
What did you say? If it's 3-3 again,
no,
you got it right.
No, 3-2. I said
3-2. If it's 3-2, you've got it right.
I think they wasted all their goals in that game. It's going to be 0-0, innit?
Watch about 8-0 to PSG.
We're now going to Italy. It's the final one for this one. Do you want to read us through this one?
Yeah, Parma obviously on a resurgence with the club just getting back to the top flight division. Obviously, was it liquidation with how they went down?
They were very close to liquidation.
Is that what it was?
They came up from Serie D all the way back up to Syria.
So they're only actually 1 point away from the European positions in the league. But obviously they're playing Juventus, which is, I think we can all say, it's a very tough game for anyone playing them. The home side not dominant in comparison to the previous Juve teams, but they are first in the league with wet. But they are
4 wins in their last 5.
First in Serie A.
No, sorry, I had. But they're first in Serie A with 4 wins in the last 5. It's because I read it as, but they're first between each other, and I was like, what does that mean?
So you just skipped a line.
Yeah, as they look to run away with it from Inter Milan, who are obviously in second, as we talked about earlier. In the last 4 fixtures between each other, Parma have won 1, drawn 1, and only lost 2. And a win could put the side into 6th as Cagliari dropped down the league.
Obviously, Cagliari lost to AC Milan.
Cagliari have now lost their last 5.
Lost to Milan yesterday.
They are absolutely dropping down the
lost
league.
to AC last week.
So, Juventus v Parma, I think this is one of the more open games because really, Parma on the day, they do like to have a good performance against Juventus, as you can tell from their last 4 games against each other. Kieran, what do you think of this one?
Well, it's the power of Gervinho. I think it's going to be 4-0 to Juventus.
The power of Gervinho. I thought you were going to say 4-0 to Parma then.
No.
Gervinho hat-trick.
No.
I am going to go for 2-0 to Juventus.
2-0 to Juventus. Rowan, what do you think of this one?
1-0 Parma.
1-0 Parma. Oh.
What?
Although, personally, I don't think Juventus are as good defensively.
No,
this year.
yeah.
They're having to play Demiral, aren't they?
I know, I'm glad he got some minutes the other day. He scored as well.
Yeah.
Good
Is it De Ligt and
Bonucci usually?
De Ligt and Bonucci. Keely is out for the whole season.
I feel like this season they've not been. Well, it certainly seems not been as defensive.
Demiral's been playing quite recently as well,
yeah,
and he's
scored,
been doing good.
He scored, didn't he, against who did they play last week?
Sassuolo, was it?
Sassuolo.
Yeah.
Did they get a card or something? I swear something happened. What was sent off?
I can't remember.
Something happened.
I really don't know this one because, as I said, with the stats and that, Parma sometimes can just play an absolute blinder.
Josh, are you doing it?
I'm going to go
for a draw.
Go on, Josh, do it.
I'm going to go for a 1-1.
Go on, lad.
I'm going to go for a 1-1. I do feel like Parma might get something out of this game. It's always tight.
Rowan, I've gone for 2 4-0 victories.
You have indeed, yes. So, of course,
got mocked.
Yeah,
as I said before, there's no league games in France really to predict this week. It's Coupe de France. There's no point really predicting games when PSG are playing sides from like the 5th division.
He scored.
So that's
Demiral. That's what I would think.
Is the weekly roundup. For next week's show, I will look at the weeks before. I'll get the points tallied up and we'll see how we're doing. But that is the weekly roundup. We are now going on to the last section of the podcast. It's the finale.
Second to last.
I'm just going to grab my phone so I can look at the team of the week when it comes out.
That's all right.
I was going to say, stop forgetting the team of the week reveal.
But it's only about 2 minutes. This is like a full feature. Rowan,
do you have a pen
first? I've got one. There you go. Take it away. It's the finale feature.
It's the quiz. It's a quiz. I'll get a better one for next week.
Do you know what I thought you was doing? Do you know Beauty and the Beast? No one fights like Gaston.
No one quiz like this pod. This one does like the pod. Everyone answers a question on this certain
So just before you start, Will has commented, said Barcelona got drawn against UD Ibiza in the Copa del Rey. Imagine Ibiza away. And he also put bet Kieran can't wait for Sunday. United could win their first trophy of the season, the beat Liverpool trophy. And Alexa said Parma to win with a Ure Kuka banger.
Do you know what? He does love a free kick.
Is it Juraj or
Juraj
Kuka banger.
He does love a free kick.
I do like Kuka. He used to play in Turkey, didn't he?
He did indeed. Right, Rowan, what we got for finale feature this week?
Number one, you know what it normally is. It's normally like a long one. This one's because obviously Sergio Aguero this weekend broke the record for the most hat-tricks and the most goals for an overseas player in the Premier League. So these two are records.
I like this.
Are we going for the regular buzzers? Or do you want any new ones?
Nah, I'm sticking with mine.
Just Tom Eaves, innit?
Tom Eaves.
McTominay.
McTominay, Gunners.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Appears in the BPL.
McTominay. Gareth Barry.
Correct.
Woof. Good start.
2 seconds.
That was lightning quick.
Ah, no my stuff.
Unlike Gareth Barry.
Is he still playing?
He is. He's
Championship.
still
Is he at
West Brom.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Goals in the Premier League.
Tom Eaves. Oh,
No. Oh, it's Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
I knew it was. That's why I said it. Jeez.
How annoyed did Kieran get them?
Most assists.
Oh, that's an interesting
good
one.
one,
I like
that
that
one.
one.
McTominay. Mesut Ozil.
Incorrect.
Jurgen Ajar. David Silva.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Tom
wow.
Eaves. Kevin De Bruyne.
Incorrect.
Jurgen Ajar. Lampard.
Incorrect.
Tom Eaves.
McTominay. He said it first.
Gerrard.
Incorrect.
McTominay. Ryan Giggs.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
Damn.
Yeah,
Because,
Ryan
yeah, you think about how long Ryan Giggs played for, isn't it? And all the assists he could
They
up.
played for a while.
Bloody
Ready?
hell.
Clean sheets.
McTominay. John Terry.
Goalkeepers, I think. He's talking
Jurgen
about.
Ajar.
Oh, you're talking
Tom
goalkeeper.
Eaves.
Jurgen Ajar.
Yeah.
Tom Eaves.
Petr Cech.
Yeah.
Gets in. Come on.
I said John Terry. I'm sure he played in net at one
I was
point.
too busy telling you the goalkeepers.
I've got to get my optimism in before I start dropping points.
Josh, I sabotaged him for you.
Get in.
3 wins in a row and they can't handle it.
Team with the most wins.
Jurgen
McTominay.
Ajar.
Man United.
Oh, damn it.
I was about to say Everton for some reason.
Everton.
Most losses.
McTominay. Everton.
Wow.
Wow.
Was
They've
was
been
that
in
just a guess?
No, they've
No,
been
no.
they've been in the league since it first created.
That was perfectly timed.
Right. These two are from this season.
Right,
Right.
okay.
Most saves made. This
Jurgen
McTominay.
Ajar.
Dean Henderson.
Incorrect.
Oh, no.
Eaves.
Oh,
He said it first, though.
Tom Eaves. It's Tom Eaves.
No, you said Tommy.
No,
I'll
no,
let-
you
I'll let-
said
no,
he- no, he said it after.
Just
Just because you've not got your answer ready.
Martin Dubravka.
Correct.
Yes.
That's a really good shout. Well done.
That wasn't going to be mine anyway.
Oh, that's all right. I was going to let you go anyway.
Right, you
but-
ready?
Mine was Ben Foster.
Most times dispossessed of the ball.
McTominay.
3.
Fred.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Most time.
Jurgen Ajar. Nicolas Pepe.
Incorrect.
Is it Kieran's go or do I get? Can I buzz in again?
Kieran gets
Right.
to go, then it's
We might as
buzzing
well just
after
go
that.
around.
Go on.
Tom Eaves, and who's been dispossessed the most times?
5,
No, not Lascelles. He's been crap.
3,
He's not played enough, though, has he?
2.
Ozil. I don't know.
Incorrect.
Ibrahim Amadou from Norwich.
Incorrect.
Mark Noble.
Incorrect. I'll give you a clue after Kieran.
Pablo Fornals.
Incorrect. Is an attacker.
I've got an idea. I don't think it is.
Marcus Rashford.
Incorrect.
Jack Grealish.
Incorrect.
Felipe Anderson.
Incorrect.
Daniel James.
Incorrect.
It's a tricky one, this, isn't it? I like this one.
I like this one as well.
Gabriel Jesus.
Incorrect.
Diego Jota.
Correct. He plays not for a Champions League team.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Um.
We're just going to go around again.
Yeah. Just keep going round.
Martial.
Incorrect.
Chris Ward.
Incorrect.
James Madison.
Incorrect.
Jamie Vardy.
Incorrect.
Kelechi Iheanacho.
Incorrect.
Yeah, played
Right,
enough.
okay, just because I named one Leicester player, we're not going through the whole squad, all
Go on,
right?
go on, say
Kasper Schmeichel.
Soyuncu. Say Soyuncu.
No, I'm not going to say that.
For the Leicester hat-trick.
Wilfred Ndidi.
Incorrect.
No, he's an
Harvey-
attacker. What am I doing?
Harvey Barnes.
Incorrect.
We're
Why
going to
you
go
doing
through
all
everyone
Leicester?
here.
We're literally gone through the whole Leicester team.
We're going to go for everyone here.
Timu Pukki.
Incorrect.
Lise
Oh.
Mousset.
Incorrect.
Joe Linton.
The team are in the top 10. Incorrect.
Raul Jimenez.
Incorrect.
Don't know if they're in the top 10, but Miguel Almiron.
Incorrect.
Calvert-Lewin.
Incorrect.
Oh, this is tricky because you think about the teams in the top 10, don't you think? Adama Traore.
Incorrect. I'll give you another clue after Kieran.
Trying to think who's in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking because you think about teams in the top 10 who aren't in the Champions League, and you think, oh, who's actually in the top 10? Oh,
I think I might know who it is, actually.
Oh,
I think I might know who it is.
yeah, I think I've got an idea. It's probably going to be wrong.
Ollie Norwood.
Incorrect. Do you want a clue?
Christian Eriksen.
Incorrect.
Aubameyang.
Incorrect.
You got to have a guess
They're
now.
in the Champions League, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they are. They are.
I like this question, by the way.
This is a really
This
good
is a
question.
really good one.
Granit Xhaka.
Incorrect. They're not in the Europa League.
Bloody
Oh,
hell, it's a
wow,
forward. What am I
okay.
doing again?
Right, so you've really got to narrow down your options now. Just trying to think.
Callum Robinson.
Incorrect.
Oh yeah. Lise Mousset.
Already said him.
It's already
Oh,
said
yeah,
incorrect.
was
After
done.
Kieran, I'll give you another clue.
David McGoldrick.
Incorrect. The most of his possessors is 92.
That's not going to help him.
The person below is on I think 45.
So
Wow.
he must be awful.
This guy
Wow.
cannot run with a football.
Lacazette.
Incorrect.
Bloody hell! This is a tricky one. This, isn't it?
When you say attacker,
So
He's an attacker.
do you mean
no,
striker, right forward,
Don't
left
say
forward?
anything yet.
Right.
right. So it's attacker that's not in the Champions League or Europa League and is in the top 10. This is a tricky one.
Oh, Arsenal in Europa League, aren't they?
Yeah, because I was thinking Arsenal, but they're in the Europa
Who
League.
the blooming hell is it?
So there's only one. I think there's two clubs, isn't there? Two or three.
Sheffield United.
Them and
Everton.
Oh,
Are Everton in top 10?
No.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I've
Incorrect.
already said that.
That's a problem as well because we've gone through so many players. You
Who's
just
in the
start.
top
This is
10?
the thing I don't.
Sheffield United.
Damari Gray.
Incorrect. This is great.
Right.
Oh, it must be a Leicester
Hmm.
player. It must be a
No.
Leicester player. No, it
No.
must be.
No, because
Ayoze Perez.
Incorrect.
I don't know whether they're still in the top 10 or not. Wilfred Zaha.
Correct. He
Yes.
got it.
I didn't think they were in the top 10.
didn't
Wilfred
think-
Zaha has been dispossessed 92 times.
Wow.
I think the person below him is on 45 or 54.
That's crazy. I didn't know whether Palace was still in the
I'm
top 10 or
checking
not.
the Premier
yeah,
League
just
table.
make sure.
The 9th.
Now then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. That's a
He
crazy.
is right,
That's
the ninth.
crazy.
He is
stat.
right, the
I
ninth.
can get
Wow.
the
I thought Everton were ninth.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
that's-
thought Everton were up there.
Well-
That's
well
crazy.
done, Rowan. That is a really
That's
that
a
was
good question. I like that one.
Hold up, I could probably get the stats. Hold up, I've got it here.
92.
I wasn't expecting it to be Zaha.
I thought he were good.
Yeah. Wow.
I thought he were
Wilfred,
good.
sorry, Wilfred Zaha, 92.
That's crazy.
Emiliano Buendia, the
Buendia.
53. And he's second.
Wow.
I was going to guess Buendia, but when you said he was in the top 10, that kind of like knocked me bloody guess out.
That's crazy.
So scores on the doors are Kieran Dillon's on 4, Josh is on 4, and Kieran L is on 0.
Wait till the anagram round and I go,
Well,
woo.
you know what? We'll go to the anagram
Oh,
round.
Shit.
So these are all football clubs,
Okay.
and these are all their full names. What
I don't know what that was then.
What is that?
can I hear something?
There we go. It's
It's
gone.
gone now.
Right.
Are you
Ready.
ready? Shame you can't write them down on a piece of paper.
I've got notepad.
Yeah, these two.
I've got it on notes
um,
on my phone.
Nice. Have you got something to write yours down?
Actually,
I mean, it's probably not. It's not probly going to make no difference for me writing it down.
Are
But
you ready?
Oh, we're going anagram round?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
This is it.
First one. Arms outbids round. ARMS
I've just forgot how to do a B.
OUTBIDS
just a quick question: is this like English clubs
No.
or European?
European.
European.
Everywhere.
Right. Perfect. Ooh, I don't like anagrams. I don't like anagrams.
Should we just give up now, Josh?
Yeah, I think we should. I don't like anagrams. See, the thing is, it's such a long name as well.
Welcome to the Copacabana. Do boo do 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 at the Copa.
Shut up.
It could be like a timer.
I was going to say, after a while, will you tell us if it's English or European?
Yeah, I'll give you another like. 30.
I honestly
I'll
don't
give you-
like
I'll give
anagram rounds.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
Not to work it out when you get the clue.
Arms outbids rounds. Right.
What is it? Rounds?
Rounds.
Round.
Yeah.
ROUND.
So no S.
Round?
Yeah.
Arms outbid
Arm-
round?
Arms
Arms
outbid.
outbids round.
Bloody hell.
If
Trying to
you
think.
like pina colada,
Oh, by the way, I think it's been 30 seconds.
What
getting
team's got?
caught in the rain.
What team's got like two R's
If
in
you're
it?
not into yoga,
I don't know. Tell us a
they're
clue.
not English.
Right, they're not English.
They're not English.
Right.
Do do do.
I don't like anagrams.
Do 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 do.
Hate anagrams.
I'll give you a clue in another 30 seconds. Do 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 do.
Can you stop singing? It's just really putting me off.
I don't care.
Oh no, I had an idea of one then. I thought no, there's no L.
I just don't want dead silence.
Josh will be taking the L.
I am going to be taking the L on this round. I'm getting no points. I don't like anagrams.
If you
They're not English.
Can't escape. Do do do. They are playing in the Champions League. Da da boo doo be doo.
Are you having a laugh?
You having a laugh? You having a laugh?
Oh, no, it's not. Don't matter.
You have to buzz in, by the way.
Jahr Jahr. I'm going very outrageously here. Is it Borussia Dortmund?
Yes.
Clever.
I've actually won a point on the anagram round. Yes.
Do you know what's annoying?
Yeah.
My head was at Real Madrid.
Do you know what? I haven't even wrote anything down on my screen.
You know when you
Literally,
look, you know when you
I've
see
just
it,
got the word and that's it.
you know when you look at it and then you think like after someone said it, you think, oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Is everyone ready for the next one?
Ready.
I
I'm
am.
raring to go now.
Oval Starlin. OVALSTALIN. I'll give you a clue in a minute.
Ow.
You alright?
Well, I'll give it to you when it hits
Just headbutted the
Fuck.
mic.
1957.
Right. Okay. This is a tricky one.
Oval Starlin for
Starlin,
anyone playing at home. Obviously, don't put it in the chat because Josh can read it.
I haven't got the chat open.
Put it in-
Astana.
Put it in the chat.
McTominay Astana.
Incorrect.
Yeah. If you're
you're not in
if
the
you're
chat,
playing the
I'll have
game
a look
along, do put your predictions in the chat. I'm not reading the chat, so I can't see anything.
Oval
Stalin.
Stalin, like
Oh,
the
wow.
dictator.
Don't think it was oval shaped, but
My bad.
Oh Jesus.
Let me and escape. Do 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 do. I'm just going through the thing here. Alexa got Wilfred Zaha.
Bloody hell! Fair play, Alexa.
Fair play.
Rigged.
Clue incoming in 10 seconds.
can you tell if it's Europe or not so I can narrow my thinking?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Europe.
Can you just tell us what it is?
They play in Europe.
Nice, get in.
They're English.
Oh, for God's sake! Why would you?
Are they?
He's double bluffed us.
Oh, you cheeky devil.
Like I said, if you want to just guess
have you
in
got
the
it?
chat, you can.
No, I'm just thinking.
Aston Villa.
That's got to be it,
Yeah,
innit?
it is.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm going to give it him. He didn't buzz in, but yeah. Aston Villa.
McTominay
Yeah.
Aston Villa.
Yep, Aston Villa, correct.
Get in.
Fair play. That's a good one.
Can I just have the pen quickly so I can
I'm writing down Aston Villa for some weird reason, ticking it.
see if I can Diego Jota it down.
What?
Jot.
Jota it down.
Jot it down.
Right.
That is woeful.
Kieran,
that is woeful.
I don't want to say you've been outdone in your own round.
But at the
He
moment,
is
you're getting
not-
outdone your own
He
round.
is not happy.
Come on,
He's
Kieran.
staring at me.
Come on,
Go on,
Josh.
lad.
He's
We're in
chewing
this
his
together.
crisps.
We're in this
I'm
together.
determined.
Are you ready?
I
Let's
don't
go
think there's
for
a
it.
way I can win.
Yeah.
There's plenty.
There's
I think
still
there's
time.
still 2 more rounds, isn't there?
There's still 5 more points up for
So do you
grabs.
know what I think
Right.
last
In
week?
the anagrams, there's 5 more
No, no,
anagrams.
no.
Oh,
Do you know,
thank God
do
for
you remember,
that.
do you remember last week when the last point
Oh,
was
7.
worth 50 and that made the whole game redundant? Can we have that again, please?
Possibly. All
So
right.
the last round, the last round
that's
was worth
wound.
100 points. Winner
Alright.
stays
Are
on.
you ready?
Right, go for it.
Gloat Vice. GLOATVICE. I'm the love that you look for.
Celta Vigo.
I was
Oh,
about,
he
to, say, I was
got
about
it.
to say
You
that.
got it extremely fast. Can I have the pen, please, Kieran?
Do you know what's infuriating, right? I'm finally picking up some.
I was
picking up
literally
points.
about to say Celta Vigo.
All right, there's a lot of questions left.
The second before.
Okay, is everyone ready?
Ready?
Can I have the
Get
pen
you-
back,
You
please?
don't need it.
Oh, is that the anagram?
Yeah,
done?
that's yeah.
Get in.
You're only
Yes.
3.
Thank
Come on.
God for that.
At least I'm on the board.
I'm still in the game after the anagram round.
Everyone got one right.
Right, I'll
Okay.
take that. I'll take that.
We'll go for quotes this
We
time.
take those.
Everyone
Yes.
get your buzzers ready. I mean, get your voice ready. which excuse me.
Sorry.
Which footballer said this? What a feeling it is to be a manager and bring someone on.
What?
What a feeling it is as a manager to bring someone.
McTominay, Pep Guardiola.
Incorrect.
I'm having a look at the team of the week. Just
Tommy
give me 1
Eves.
sec. Just give me 1 sec.
Jargoner's yeah.
Antonio Conte.
Incorrect.
Ah, you've nicked the idea.
Drop Kieran your phone.
Sorry, I was just looking. Rashford.
Oh.
Rashford is in the team of the week.
Right, stop.
Limbs.
Stop.
Right, it's
limbs.
Not the,
Limbs.
That's the last bit.
Yes.
Jargoner's yeah. Roy Hodgson.
Incorrect. It's order, so it's Kieran, Kieran
Yeah,
D,
we'll
Kieran
go in
L.
that. Go
You
Sam Allardyce.
Incorrect.
Klopp.
Incorrect.
Frank Lampard.
Incorrect.
Jose Mourinho.
Incorrect.
Alan Pardew.
Incorrect.
Grant McCann.
Incorrect.
Fabio
Question.
Capello.
Incorrect.
Vincente Del Bosque.
Incorrect.
Felix Magath.
Incorrect.
Right, go and give a clue now because we've been round about 9 times.
He's not a manager.
What a feeling it is to bring.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Paul Scholes.
I've just noticed for Southampton Team of the Week.
Stop.
What did you say?
Paul Scholes.
Incorrect.
What feeling it is to bring someone on? Scott Parker? I know he's a manager,
Incorrect.
but...
Did you say English?
No.
No, he just said he's not a manager.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the question.
Gary Neville.
What a feeling it is to be a manager and bring someone on. Gary Neville is incorrect.
Gary Neville is incorrect.
Gary
Is
Neville.
Gary Neville incorrect
Is
as
his
well?
cousin.
Robbie Williams at Soccer Aid.
Incorrect. By the way, someone in the chat, Alexa's got it correct. So
Cheating. They've got Google.
Who is it? Peter Crouch.
Incorrect.
Go on, we'll have another clue.
Jamie
'cause
Carragher.
Oh, I was going to say have another clue because it's back to
All
you.
right. Incorrect.
We'll
go one more
I've got an
round.
idea. I've got an idea.
He is English. Kieran L.
John Terry.
Incorrect.
Michael Owen.
Correct.
Yes.
I was going to go with
As
that.
if-
I was
as
gonna
if
go
he
with
Michael
said
Owen
that,
said,
yeah.
"What a feeling it is to be a manager and bring someone on."
Wow.
That is.
What, to bring a sub on? Is that what
I
it means?
don't know.
Is he thick? I mean, yeah, he is.
I
'Cause-
mean, Josh
yeah.
could have read the chat. 'Cause
No.
Alexa did get it right.
I'm getting excited over for Sell.
Have you got the team of the week?
I think you read the chat, Josh.
I don't think I did. I don't think I did.
Michael Owen is an obvious one if you think about all the stupid quotes he said.
Rowan. Aguero's a record breaker.
Stop doing the fucking team of the week.
Stop burning my
It's
things.
my quiz.
Stop
Go on.
burning my
Next one.
things.
What fire's
Come
going
on.
out?
In polite news, I couldn't give a crap about the team. So
Come on, let's go
I
for it.
do, but it's my quiz.
that's what I'm saying. I'm more engrossed in this.
Thank you,
It's
Jim.
alright. I couldn't care less about FIFA anymore.
We'll do.
Steven Gerrard.
I'm a fucking idiot.
All right.
What have you done?
No, it's alright. I remember who it was. I forgot to write the player for this one.
Right.
Okay, it's
The
the
player?
Do you know what we normally do when it's the player? And I'll name you the clubs.
All right. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I'll name you one, and if you want to guess, you can. Manchester United.
I think we should all have one go as we go around. And this, I think always with this round, it should be worth 3 if you get it off the first team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on then.
Go on, you can go first.
Why
'cause
do I have to go first?
It's
Because
your
I have to
team.
set the
It's
pace.
your team.
Darmian.
Incorrect.
Nanny.
Incorrect.
Juan Sebastian Veron.
Incorrect. Okay. 3 points are out the window.
Darn it.
Leicester.
Danny Simpson.
Incorrect.
Oh my god.
Harry Maguire.
Incorrect.
Oh my god. Man United and Leicester.
Josh, to get clinch 2 points.
I'm not. He didn't even play for Man United, who I'm thinking of.
Who? Who you
I'm
think?
not going to say it. It's going to take a guess, isn't it?
I've got it.
It's just, sod it. He didn't play for. He didn't play for Man United, did he? Kasper Schmeichel.
Incorrect.
You know what I'm saying?
Johnny
Never played
Evans.
For 1 point. I mean, you've just wasted your guess
Why have I wasted my guess?
because it's incorrect.
for him.
Oh.
That's not a waste of a guess. A guess is a guess.
Well, 'cause you did it before I gave you the third team.
Get out.
Well, I don't.
Rowan.
There's
Direct
not
the
a lot of. Oh, actually, I
Direct
know.
the
I think I know what it is again.
Aston Villa.
Oh, I do know what it is.
Oh,
But I've
no.
bottled it as well.
Mark Albrighton.
Incorrect.
That's no he played for Villa.
You're getting a free bite of the cherry here, Kieran.
Josh, I'm going to give you 10
I
seconds.
can see it in his eyes. Look at him. He's
Uno.
smiling. He's raring
Dos.
to go.
If I get it wrong, I'm not like
Trez.
right. Oh.
Aston Villa.
Quattro. Cinco.
It's
Set.
definitely Gabi Agbonlahor. He played at Man United.
Incorrect.
Danny Drinkwater.
Correct. It is Danny Drinkwater.
When was he at Man United? Was it like when he was a kid?
Yeah.
When he first started.
Wow.
Again though, that is Kieran's favourite team. So
There might be a
I
whole
know,
one on
but
there.
I'm sorry, but come on.
I think that was a good
If
one.
it-
I
No, it was a good
didn't
one.
even realise he played at Man U as a kid.
I did. Yeah.
so did Michael Keane though.
Yeah.
True.
Will Keane,
okay.
who used to play for Hull.
What do we go for now? We'll leave that one for the final one like we normally do.
You're going to start with Kieran now, since I had the guess last time.
Well, it's a different one now.
Yeah, but it's...
Because it's the 15th of January,
Is it?
I would like to have a look at players' birthdays.
It is.
And so it's Eric Dyer's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Get your buzzers ready.
Get your happy
How many-
birthdays in the comments.
How many games has he played this season?
Should we? Are we doing this by closest to the number?
Are we all having a guess?
Yeah.
I think we should
Quick
do that.
question: starts or appearances?
I think it's just appearances. I will check for you.
Appearances if they've touched the pitch, pretty much. If
Yeah.
they've
Okay,
Put
I
it-
will,
if
I
they've
will, I'll
if they've set their foot on the pitch.
To
And
be
I will
fair-
go first.
hold up.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
McTominay 25.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
76.
I think you might have got it right, Josh.
He played at Sporting.
No, this
Eric
season.
Dyer.
This
Yeah,
season.
Eric Dyer was at Sporting.
This season.
Well, this season.
Was he there this
no,
season?
No, sorry.
No, he has
9.
76.
9. Fuck off, Kieran. 9.
76.
9.
76.
9.
This season. He played at Sporting.
I'm getting excited over Vassell.
I'm just gonna check.
I'm
if it's
going
like
9.
a certain specific thing.
I'll go
When I
9.
did it, I didn't check. I just.
Can you hear my eating every night?
No.
Okay, sorry. I'll rephrase.
Oh.
This is purely just Premier League.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
So I'll
okay.
let you two go have another guess. And,
7.
if you want as well.
7.
How many games are we in now?
22, 21.
5.
Ah, solid 6. Just go in the middle, innit?
Should have gone with your original answer.
9.
He's played 9 games.
That's why I
this
won
season.
then?
Point to Kieran.
Come
Played
on.
9. Damn.
Viva
Played
la
9 games.
McTominay.
Okay, 2 seconds. I will just load it up.
I'm having a look and seeing how many Eric Dyer's actually played in general.
Overall, in his entire
Yeah.
career.
I'm guessing it's about 110 or something.
Oh, jeez, that'd have been miles off anyway. Nearly 200.
200?
Yeah, 164 appearances for Tottenham.
Okay.
10 goals.
Right.
10 goals.
One every 16 games.
He's a centre back or centre down to mid wherever they play.
Go run.
Matt, everyone, wish happy birthday to Mark Bartra.
Happy
birthday,
birthday, Mark
Mark.
The
Bartra.
centre
Get
back.
happy
Who's
birthday
watching
comment
this from Spain?
How many
definitely.
games has he played in the La Liga this season?
below. McTominay 18.
14.
16.
Just go in the middle of us, Josh.
And it's working because he's played 16 games this season.
Oh, wow.
Get him. Come on. He's still in it.
I'm just looking at the tally points. From heroics to non-heroics for Kieran L. But anyway, everyone
He's got 1 point, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he has. Okay, and can everyone wish a happy birthday to Joshua King?
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Joshua King.
Stupid.
Get your happy birthday in comments.
As he sits at Bournemouth watching this.
Yeah, of
In
course.
19th in league.
How many games has he played in the Premier League so far
18.
All career. All-time career or just
this season?
18.
22. 21, sorry. 21. I'll go 21.
13.
The closest. No one got it right. 13, what did you say?
18.
It's Kieran L. He's played 16 games this season.
Get in there. Honestly, I've been saving that.
It's been coming. It's been
Just
coming.
been waiting for that
waiting
Josh
for the
King
Josh
question.
King based question. That's all I've
I
been
was
waiting
like, I'm ready.
Fun fact, Josh King also used to play for Man United.
He
Right.
did.
Okay.
And Blackburn.
Have we got any more birthdays?
Yes.
No, that's it.
Oh,
I
I
just
like
took
that.
I just took the top 3 players.
Yeah.
Right.
Just otherwise.
When was Ralph Gutenhartel?
There was literally no others. There were no others. Okay, final question.
Did you search famous birthdays to get that?
I just typed in
we did it the
football.
other. We did it the
That's
other
it
day.
now,
didn't
guys. Search it every week.
Right. Okay. Again, we'll do the 3 points. 3 points to guess the first
Right.
club. This is managers.
Right, okay.
Right.
Notts County.
Sol Campbell.
Incorrect.
I'm not even gonna guess.
I'm not going to guess, no.
Okay. Leeds.
Simon Grayson.
Incorrect.
Jesus.
The Wally with the Brawley. Steve McLaren.
Incorrect. Do you want to go for a guess, Josh? He's hyperventilating.
Josh, do you want that? You haven't-
No, there's a manager in my head, but I forgot his name.
What's in your head?
Nah, I'll leave it. I'll go for the point.
He'll go for the point.
Well, you won't, because I get my,
Yeah, I won't.
it's my go next.
No, it's
No,
just
it's
whoever
just
says
random.
it
Oh, is
quickest,
it?
Yeah.
Cardiff.
It's Neil Warnock. It's Neil Warnock.
Jaganazia.
Neil
Oh, you
Warnock.
have to bloody buzz in. I didn't know that.
That is 1 point to
Oh.
Josh.
I don't need to bloody buzz in. Because we went round.
When did we start the podcast?
Yeah,
We started it late on, didn't we?
About 20 past 1. 20 past 1.
no, we're all right. We're fine. We're actually we're doing all right. So keep going.
Well, I haven't. That is it, but I really want to make it a bit more interesting. I've got an idea that I want to test out. So-
Let's just ask the question: Who's winning? Who's
I think
won?
it's you.
Josh is winning by 1 point.
I think we should end it there. I just want.
I
the
just
win.
want to give.
I've never won one.
You know what?
Next point's worth 15 points.
I really want to do it.
It should just be between me and Josh. No offence, Kieran, but you've had a stinker today.
So have you two the last
Do we
3
end
weeks?
it?
Shut up.
Right. Okay.
No.
I'm doing something new.
Oh,
No.
no.
This is
no.
for 1 point.
No,
So
no,
Kieran, you can't
no,
win.
I'm winning. I
Hey,
need-
pride's
I
on the
need to
line.
win.
I can have some pride.
You know what? If Kieran gets this correct, he can go on equal points.
What's the point?
Is-
I've won.
He can go on equal points as Kieran D.
I'm Kieran D. You point at Kieran L.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, just so he's got something to play
VAR, call this quiz off. I've won.
for. Okay,
I want my win.
I'm gonna go around the thingy. Can you list me the Premier League table? So you would list Kieran D would list first. Josh would list
I
second.
love this.
All right.
Why have we
Kieran
never done
L.
this before?
All right. I love this.
Third.
No,
So
I want my
3,
win.
16,
Apart from
90.
the fact he looked at the Premier League table
I
earlier.
want my win.
Did you look at the Premier League table earlier?
I had to, yeah.
Okay, we'll do a different league.
Oh, bloody hell.
I think we should just end it there, and I win it. To be
I
honest,
think it's just been between me
I-
and Kieran
I-
since Josh cheated
yeah,
earlier.
I think I'll take first, and we have
No,
a fight
no,
for
no,
second.
no, no.
So what I'll do next week is I'll give you my first answer, then realise I'm rubbish and I've got the
I'm
wrong
not
answer,
having
and
this.
then give
I'm
you
not
Shall,
having
shall I
this.
save this for next week?
Yes.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. The winner.
Oh, what?
What do you want me to do?
Another question.
Come
would be
on.
an idea.
You want me to do another
Yes.
question? Another question for 1 point.
You can't think of one.
I can't. I need to think of one. Okay. Right.
How many minutes has this podcast been on for? It's been on for
Right,
1
I've
hour
got- no,
47
go on, I'll
and
take
43.
it. I've got,
No,
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 Tommy
back off.
didn't buzz in.
Rowan, I'll take it.
All right.
Who was Hull City's number 16 last year?
Jon Terrell,
Nope.
Cameron Grosicki, Jared Bowen,
Nope.
Evandro,
No.
Tommy,
Henrik.
Can I get
Henriksen.
some points here? Can I get some points?
Henriksen.
Nope.
Gary Barlow,
No.
James Milner,
I think Josh should be penalised
Fraser-
for not taking
Josh-
it seriously.
Josh McGuinness.
Fraser Campbell.
Josh McGuinness.
Nope.
This is
I don't
rubbish.
bloody know. Give us a clue.
Rubbish because you're stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't support Hull. That's like me asking what's Tranmere's number 22.
Robbie
It's
McKenzie.
clearly Paul Mullins. You should
Correct.
know.
Robbie McKenzie.
No.
Oh, who is it?
You know, I don't know.
It
Just
isn't
get-
someone
Don't know.
stupid in the youth team, by the way. He starts.
Right. He starts. Okay. Is
Jordan.
it Kevin Stewart?
Jordan Device.
No.
George Long.
He's not number
Is it
16
Eric-
this year.
Is it Eric
George-
Lehigh?
Jared Bowen.
No.
Oh. Who is it?
George Long.
We could be here all day.
Who is it? I've got a question ready.
Oh.
I thought this was fine enough question
Who's gonna? How are we gonna guess it?
Just process
because
of
we don't
elimination.
have that many good players.
George Honeyman.
Process of elimination.
El Mohammadi.
No, are you giving up?
No.
Yeah, go on then.
No. Callum Elder.
I just want my win.
No.
Tom Eves.
Clue though, he is from the same nation as Callum Elder.
Tom Eves.
Nope.
Josh McGuinness.
No, I've just literally told you he's Australian.
I didn't know that.
Jackson Irvine.
There you go.
Yeah. Does that mean I get another point?
I mean,
Nope.
yeah, he does. He should get another point.
Do you
for
wanna give
that,
him
I
another
think. I
point?
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Then make the last question worth. How many points is Kieran behind?
7.
What do you want behind first?
Yeah, behind Josh.
He's 7 points behind.
This question's worth 8
No,
points.
I want my win.
I think Josh does deserve the
Okay,
win.
I agree.
Right, okay.
You're
This
the
is,
worst winner out of us all.
Josh has won.
Yep.
This is for second
I've
place.
been dying for the last like 7
Just
weeks.
second place.
to
I think
win
I
this
think I've
quiz.
wrapped second place up ages ago. Just do the question. We'll just won't
This
do
is
points.
for 6 points.
Yeah, go on
between
then. We'll do this. We'll
This is for 6 points.
us. Who has got
Just
the
so Kieran can come second.
Who has got the most red cards in the Bundesliga so far?
McTominay.
Wait, this season
I've got
or
it.
in
I've got
history?
it.
McTominay.
I've
Jerome
got it.
Boateng.
No.
Incorrect.
Wait.
Leon Bailey.
He's Josh has got it.
I mean, I swear it was for second
Do you know
place.
what's fantastic?
got to.
The fact I asked him a question and went, was it all time or just this season? I got no reply.
I apologise.
So that just cancelled me out because he wasn't answering what I was asking.
Josh, Kieran, you're a winner anyway. You won last week.
You've won for the last like 14
Right.
weeks.
There's no camera on today, is there?
Right. Yeah, there is camera on.
There is
Which
cameras.
one?
It is. It's that one
All
there.
right, okay.
Right.
And the winner.
Is that Jose Basingwa?
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Is that
Yes,
Jose-
I got the Basingwa one.
Jose
Yes.
Basingwa?
And we the Jose Basingwa thing.
Yes.
Oh,
hands.
Shake of
Shake
hands. The
Thank
Basingwa
you
is
very
handed. The
much.
Basingwa has been handed over.
Champion.
Rowan's
Right,
got
nice.
cramp again.
We'll tell you that. I'm getting
Really
that.
bad.
That is getting
It's not
plaqued.
crampy, it's just sore.
That is going on the wall.
Oh God.
Right then. I think
It's time for the
That's
it's
team.
time for the team of the week to end this off.
That was
Right.
a
Without
utter
further ado,
shambles.
who'd like to go through the team of the week before we end the podcast?
Can I do?
Can I?
Actually, no. Yep.
Tell you
Kieran.
what, let you both do
No,
it.
no. Kieran can do
Go on
it.
then,
Seeing as
Kieran.
he didn't win the quiz.
Without further
Okay, you
ado,
can go for it.
run us through team of the week.
Well,
It looks nice.
we know on YouTube we like past, present, and future squads. So we've got past Man United Keane, current Man United Rashford, future Man United Bruno Fernandes. Do you like what I did there?
I love that.
Future star.
Now in there,
Why is Michael Keane in there?
Stop it.
in there, Handanovic, who I said for Josh to put in his predictions and he didn't. Nkulu at centre back looks like a good card. Azpilicueta at left back, the man can play anywhere. Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, and Keane. Rashford as left mid, interesting. Giovinco as a cam. Chandapal in midfield.
This card looks good.
Riyad Mahrez, Quagliarella, record breaker Sergio Aguero, Dubravka, Glick, Ings, Kamara, El Arabi,
He looks sick.
Diego Castro, Chabonnier, Alex Centelles, Amissi, Gerbic, and Mango. That is the team
And
of the week.
Vassell. Let's not forget Vassell.
How in the world have you got a team of the week before us? That is robbery.
Two goals, 1 assist, and man of the match.
Yeah. Okay, Tommy Eves' hat-trick doesn't get anything.
No, he didn't get man of the match.
He did. He did.
Well, according to EA, he didn't.
Yeah, no, yeah, ignore
Got
everyone.
to get a man of the match to get in here. Boom. So that is the team of the week 18, and I think that is it for the podcast today, isn't it, boys? I think we've had a good one.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
It's been fun.
So for anybody who's in the stream or who's watching this right at the end, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to join us more for a bit more gaming stuff, it's twitch.tv/thetopcorner. I would strongly suggest coming over. We did some packs and let's say it didn't go too well in terms of getting Robertson 3 times. But that video is on Twitter if you want to see that. But it's twitch.tv/topcorner. If you are new to the channel, of course, do leave a like and a subscription. We are so close to 350 subscribers on the YouTube channel and very, very close to 1,100 followers on Twitch as well.
Can
So
I
that
just
is
say
it.
something before we go?
Oh, stop the music, go on.
Stop the music.
Stop the music.
I know it's a football podcast, but I'd like to say thank you to the Minnesota Vikings for making this the best NFL season of my life. It's my first one, and I'm really happy. And we made it all the way to the playoffs, but we
I'd like
didn't.
to thank Gardner Minshew just for being...
That, do you know what? I don't know why we don't do an honourable mentions for a different sport at the end of each episode
Yeah.
for our week in the sport. I think that'd be a good shout.
Oh,
for
for doing that, shout out to Lando Norris this week. They're unveiling the release date for the new car, and he rogered our Todger. do you know Tom Holland? Do you know Tom Holland where he revealed the Endgame poster?
For
He
kids?
did the same thing with that. Oh, it was great.
Did you not hear what he was swearing at? But yeah, I'd like to thank Minnesota Vikings for making a great NFL season for me.
Have you got any honourable mentions, Kieran?
No.
Oh, great.
Brilliant.
I'd like to give an honourable mention to Gary Barlow for his great music.
There we go.
He is
There
a
we go.
Tory, though.
Perfect. Well,
I'd like to give an honourable mention to Mike Dean.
Mike
Just
Dean,
because
yeah.
it's Mike Dean.
Up the Mike Dean. Right.
Is he
To be fair,
There we go.
Gary Barlow was probably avoiding this like his
Bye-bye.
taxes.
Hey,
Bye.
I like that. That's the way
He's
to
got
end
that
it.
in at the end.
Right, that is it for the Top Corner Podcast, episode 7. Of course, if you did enjoy, do leave a like and subscription and leave a comment in below with any of your thoughts from today's episode. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's @_Top Corner. If you want to follow us on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/thetopcorner. Corner. All the links are in the description below as Kieran desperately runs to try and put that in the bin. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.
Bye-bye.
We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.